Step into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, I tune to my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Very good morning. Welcome to it. My name is Graham Richardson. You are dialed into a feel-good kickstart to the weekend, baby. It's been an awesome week on the show, and we're going to continue on that trend this morning. We've got a jam-packed show for you this morning. Of course, we've got to doff our caps, if you will, to touch on a Schoenmaker, of course, won gold in the 200-meter breaststroke at the Tokyo Olympics. We're going to be delving into all of the weekend sport, but this morning we are shifting it, changing it. We are going to spice it up just a little bit, and of course, we are going to be heading to Can Beach, where Carl and Jamie are going to spend the morning having a little bit of fun, from learning how to surf to embracing nature through yoga and learning a few healthy recipes from the Eat Surf Yoga Lifestyle Center. So it's going to be great, and of course Jeremy Harris and I are going to be delving into all of the sports. And then one reason to rock out, obviously Zoe's outfit this morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Zoe.
I'm here rocking my
You look awesome this morning. You look awesome this morning, but of course the School of Rock is here, and they rock out like nobody. I always am left with my jaw on the ground when the School of Rock are here.
Well, listen, we are in for a treat today. And you know what, G, what I love about this is being able to also connect with you at home on social media.
Best part of the
and
show.
Today is quite a different question. We want you to fill in the blank.
Okay.
So the question for today is, I want to be good at blank in 5 years' time. What would you want to be good at?
It looks like you want to be good at whooping somebody's butt. That's the facial expression. You were like, I'm ready to conquer a mountain. Sure, maybe another language would be quite nice. Hey, I don't know. The possibilities are endless. We want you guys to let us know on our social media platforms this morning what you think about every element of the show. Engage with us, chat with us, but fill in the blank in that sentence. You want to be what in the next 5 years? So I'm going to let you go and do those news headlines, and we're going to prep to get into a bumper roster of sport. A couple of South Africans in action in Tokyo over the weekend, but as I said, Tatjana Schoenmaker getting that Olympic gold medal to follow her silver medal that she got in the 100-meter breaststroke, and she did it in a world record time as well. But we'll bring you up to speed with all of the sports in just a moment. Right now, let's get into those news headlines.
Thank you, Graham. Starting with national headlines, the KwaZulu-Natal government has declared a state of disaster in the province due to magnitude of the damage caused by the recent civil unrest. This will not only allow the province to access national government relief, but also support the reprioritization of budgets to implement the repairs and recovery programs, the province said in a statement. The estimated cost amounts to 1.58 billion rand, of which 47.7 million rand is required by municipalities. And there's further bad news for consumers regarding the cost of petrol and diesel. End-of-month data from the Central Energy Fund points to sizable increases in August. The data shows an under-recovery of between 76 and 80 cents per litre for petrol and some 47 cents per litre for diesel. Fuel prices are officially calculated and adjusted on the first Wednesday of every month by the Department of Mineral Resources and Energy. August fuel prices change will come into effect on Wednesday. And moving to news abroad, the UN's food agency has warned that it will run out of humanitarian food aid in Ethiopia's Tigray region today, as hundreds of thousands of people in the region already face famine conditions. The UN's top humanitarian official, Martin Griffith, yesterday pointed to a range of challenges on top of the impacts of the conflict associated with floods, a desert locust infestation, chronic food insecurity, and the COVID-19 pandemic. In the Tigray region alone, an estimated 5.2 million people, or about 90% of the population, need humanitarian assistance. And staying with news abroad, European countries once again have introduced stricter measures due to the coronavirus pandemic and a sharp increase in new cases caused by the Delta variant. In Germany, cases in the last 7 days have more than tripled compared to early July. However, Germany is not in favor of making vaccinations compulsory. People are strongly encouraged to get vaccinated. Italy and France have announced that proof of vaccination will soon be needed to visit public places such as gyms, museums and theatres. Restaurants in Greece also require a vaccination certificate. And in what was reminiscent of a Hollywood movie, several emergency services, including the local fire ops, the SAPS, search and rescue, and a vet converged on a scene in Fairlands, Johannesburg yesterday to rescue a 14-year-old Labrador named Sushi trapped in a manhole. And Paco Mondleke of the fire ops team was the hero of the day. After Joburg Roads Agency arrived and removed a section of the road to allow access, rescue worker Paco's legs were strapped and he was lowered headfirst into the drain to emerge amidst tumultuous applause from a large crowd of onlookers with a traumatized Sushi. Bravo Paco from Fire Ops, as he is being wildly hailed on social media, has become quite a hero, receiving scores of messages and thanks from people who followed the 7-hour rescue. But all's well that ends well, and the vet gave the exhausted Sushi a clean bill of health on the rescue. Well, on that happy note, that's where I leave your morning headlines for now. Let's take a first look at your sport.
Thank you so much, Zoe. Let's start with heroics in the water. SA's Tatiana Schoenmaker set a new world record in the women's 200-meter breaststroke to win Olympic gold at the Tokyo Games. Schoenmaker, who is already a silver medal winner, clocked a time of 2 minutes, 18.95 seconds. The 24-year-old not only won South Africa's first gold medal, but became the first person to set an individual world record in the Tokyo Games. Now, compatriot Kayleen Corbett, who was swimming in the same event, finished in 5th place with a time of 2 minutes, 22.06 seconds. And South Africa's most decorated Olympian, Chad le Clos, yesterday failed to reach the men's 100-meter butterfly semi-finals at the Olympic Games. The 29-year-old will be leaving Tokyo empty-handed after finishing 6th in his heat with a time of 51.89 seconds. Le Clos finished 18th overall, with the top 16 qualifying for those semi-finals. And staying with the Olympic watch, the South African men's hockey team caused a major upset at the Tokyo Olympic Games, stunning Germany 4-3 in a Pool B clash yesterday. Germany won bronze at the last Olympic Games in Rio and have a world ranking 9 places above South Africa. Goals by Matt Joyce-Brown, Keenan Horn, Nick Spooner and Mustafa Kasim sealing South Africa's first victory in the tournament. And then on to the courts. World number 1 Novak Djokovic, he looks set for a medal, will face Alexander Zverev in the men's tennis semi-finals at the Tokyo Games. Now, Djokovic, who is chasing that golden Grand Slam, beat Japan's Kai Nishikori in straight sets, 6-2, 6-love in only 70 minutes to advance. Then German 4th seed Zverev, he booked his place in the semis after seeing off France's Jeremy Chardy, 6-4, 6-1 in their last 8 match. Now, on to Test rugby. The second test of the Lions series between the Springboks and the British and Irish Lions will kick off in Cape Town tomorrow. South Africa will need to level the series after the Lions took that 1-0 lead when they won the first test, 22-17. Bok prop Stephen Kitsoff will earn his 50th test cap, and then Jasper Visser has been named at number 8 in that starting lineup for this crucial clash. Lions coach Warren Gatland, he's also made 3 changes to his starting 15, with Connor Murray, Chris Harris and Marco Vinipola all coming into that side. The match between the Boks and the Lions will kick off at 6 p.m. at the Cape Town Stadium tomorrow. Mr. Jeremy Harris is in the house to talk us through all of our weekend sport, all of our Olympic action, so stick around for that. But right now, let's see what the weather has in store.
Thank you, Graham. And after 18 months of careful planning, Stellenbosch University yesterday officially launched a school for climate studies, the first of its kind in South Africa. Some 100 master's and PhD students have already been enrolled. Welcoming the launch, the Deputy Minister of Higher Education, Science and Innovation, Buti Manamela, said SA urgently needed expertise, knowledge and innovation to better understand and adapt to the complex results of climate change. SU's Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Professor Eugene Kluter, said the school would focus on research and development and would zoom in on 5 key aspects: the natural environment, health and human security, systems and technologies for the future, human creativity and social innovation, and lastly, social justice and development. He added his wish for the school was that it builds a future for those that will follow. And we are joining Carl Wasty a little bit later as he learns to surf. So we have taken on some inspiration for our international feature city from this as we head on over to the Mediterranean. Officially known as the Republic of Cyprus, Cyprus is an island located in the eastern Mediterranean Sea, as well as the third most populous island in the Med. A crazy fact about the island is that the earliest known human activity dates back to around 10th millennium BC. Now, Cyprus has one of the warmest climates in the Med, with annual temperatures averaging around 24 degrees Celsius during the day at the coast, and today is set to be a hot one, peaking at 36 degrees Celsius with plenty of sunshine. Warnings have been issued for citizens to remain hydrated and be aware of the risk of heat stroke if outside for prolonged periods of time. So please be careful if you are in Cyprus today. And bringing it back home, you didn't think we have forgotten about your sunrise photos, did you? Well, of course we didn't. We start off your Friday morning with a picture that came through from Carol Baloy from Limpopo, who shared this beautiful shot as the sun rises, casting bright light over the area. Thank you for that. And Shanae Allenby from Joburg shared this silhouetted image as the day begins, waiting for the sun to rise behind the trees. Please do continue to share your sunrise photos with us. You can head on over to the Expresso Facebook page because we love seeing how you start your day and from which part of the country you are from. Well, on that note, let's look at your temperatures. Polokwane, expect a sunny day with a low of 5, reaching a high of 19. Mbombela, sunny, 8 with a high of 22. Pretoria, 6, 22. Johannesburg, sunny with a low of 4, a high of 19. Mahikeng, 4, 23. Klerksdorp, 1, reaching a high of 22 rather. Kimberley, 2 is your low, 21 your high for today. Bloemfontein, a very cold start of -3. It will be sunny with a high of 21 for today. Richards Bay, 13, 22. Pietermaritzburg, 7, reaching a high of 22. If you're in Durban today, a sunny day ahead with a low of 14, a high of 21. Mthatha, 4, 22. East London, 10, reaching a high of 20. Cradock, 2, reaching a high of 22. Gqeberha, 8, reaching a high of 19 for today. George, your low is 9, your high 19. Cape Town, partly cloudy with a high of 19. Worcester, 7, 22. Sutherland, 3, reaching a high of 17. And Uppington, a sunny day ahead with a low of 5 and a high of 25 degrees Celsius. Well, that's your 6 a.m. update with regards to weather. I'll have another update just after 7.
Oh man, the natters are already there. There is so much to talk about on the sporting front. Obviously, Tatjana Schoenmaker getting gold and a world record in the 200-meter breaststroke. Unbelievable. We'll delve into all of the Olympic permutations. But of course, lest we forget, the box in action against the British and Irish Lions. Jeremy Harris is going to spill the tea.
Every time you brew a cup of reviving Origins coffee,
you're restoring land,
empowering farmers, and supporting livelihoods.
So every sip touches hundreds of lives.
And offers an inspiring taste experience in return.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You are live with Expresso as we delve into a bumper weekend of sport. We're going to chat Olympics in just a moment, but right now we've got a plethora of sporting highlights to delve into. Of course, we've officially got our first gold medal after swimming sensation Tatjana Schoenmaker. She shattered the world record in the women's 200-meter breaststroke to win Olympic gold earlier this morning. And as we head into the second week of the Tokyo Games, the best in the world will take to track and field as the athletics schedule kicks off as well. But our sports anchor, Jeremy Harris, is here to take us through all of the sporting highlights for the weekend. We're going to start, my friend, with a little bit of rugby. The Lions series is obviously sitting on a knife edge at the moment. We know that we have to win this fixture. We know that we didn't look too bad in the first.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I don't say that to convince myself, because we were probably looking for them to be a bit rusty, and it wasn't the case. They came out in that first half. The physical kind of tempo was there. The tactics were there. Maybe struggled a bit under the high ball. Maybe the individual battles is where we lost out. What needs to shift tomorrow?
I don't think too much needs to change. I mean, there's certainly going to be no shortage of motivation going into it. I promise you, all 23 players are good to go. But as you can see, Coach Jacques Nienaber has made a few changes in some crucial positions. Really excited for Steven Kitshoff in terms of picking up that 50th Test cap. I think that means so much to him and to the team.
And it'll show in the way that he plays, guaranteed. He's one of those that does feed off that.
Yeah, I mean, I would not want to scrum up against Steven Kitshoff tomorrow. So that's going to be an exciting duel as well in the front row. But I think that the Springboks will look at the first test and go, we were a little bit rusty, we were not short on motivation, and because maybe match fitness also let us down, we dropped the ball.
Yeah.
But I'm of the school that goes, don't panic, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, let's go into the test.
Yeah, but that being said, there were also players that are in the form of their life at the moment. Moro Toji, Currie, just absolutely brilliant players who did win those individual battles. They were great over the ball. I think there was a bit of a turning point for us. And in that second half, how do you feel, dude? We've probably spoken about this about 100 times, the high ball. The kick. We use it as almost a rope-a-dope in the Rugby World Cup, where we used it throughout and then didn't use it in the final and we beat England. How do you feel about, is it a tactic that we should be employing when it looks like they've kind of got our number? They were so good under the high ball.
Yeah, and we were less good.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they continue to use it, because it worked for them once and then it worked for them twice, and they thought, oh, let's keep doing this. So when something is working, you've got to keep using it until it stops being effective. Yeah. But I think for me, the big change came when we made a wholesale change in that front row at half-time.
Yeah.
I thought the continuity
should have
continued into that second half, even if it was like 10 or 12 minutes more. But so be it, that was the change that was made.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing Jasper Visse in that side, starting at number 8 as well. But that game kicks off at 6 tomorrow. Let's talk about our local franchises in action in the Currie Cup. A couple of exciting ones, because all teams are playing well. Pumas, because we keep talking about them having the punching power, and they've done it. Standout fixture for the weekend for me, North versus South.
Always.
Bulls, Western Province. That's going to be a hot one, looking at the form that the Bulls have and the kind of rise in form of Province. They looked a lot better last weekend.
They did. They looked very good. And I particularly like the fact that, out of necessity, Jean de Jong, a returning hero for the side, has been handed the captain's armband.
That's
so,
correct,
I mean, that's going to be good for him and for the team. And I think it will give them an extra bit of a gear. So it'll be like 16 men on that field instead of 15. And so I'm looking forward to that one. Always, as you say, North versus South is one you don't want to miss out on.
Yeah, it's just not a great time to come up against Bulls from a Province perspective, because they're just playing such amazing rugby at the moment. But those fixtures will be playing out tonight, Lions and Pumas, and then Province Bulls tomorrow, and then Sharks Griquas at 2:30 tomorrow. Soweto Derby returns.
Wow.
Just to add a little extra spice, we've got Orlando Pirates up against Kaizer Chiefs in the Black Label Cup. That's going to be a great way to get back into local football.
Yes, and I'm looking forward to seeing that, because, I mean, there's a lot of reasons both teams are looking good going into the new season. I mean, we saw just, was it a week ago or 2 weeks ago, the new kit for Pirates, so they're certainly going to look
hot,
they're going to look pretty good on the field, but certainly the skill set is there, and then quite a few good and clever signings for the Amakosi as well, so it's going to be a really tough tough tussle. And of course, when we see this game, when we see this fixture, we know we're just knocking on the door of the new season. I can't believe it.
But I was going to say, this is to whet the appetite for the local, and it feels like we've barely concluded the last.
Exactly.
So we'll take it, man. Then finally, are we seeing the great modern rivalry emerging in Formula One? If Hamilton keeps ramming Verstappen off the course, I mean, take nothing away from what was a horrific, it was terrifying to watch. I've watched the replay about 100 times now. Terrifying scenes from the previous outing, but this is turning into a rivalry not just between the drivers, but between the houses that represent. This is what Formula One needs.
Absolutely, and we've been talking about it for, I feel like, for years. In the time that Hamilton was just clocking up world championship after world championship, now there's opposition, now there's competition, and now we've got some entertainment to look forward to.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people saying Verstappen's got a shoe in. Well, he is the current championship leader at the moment. The Hungarian Grand Prix kicks off 3 o'clock on Sunday, but you can catch pre-action and qualifying happening throughout the weekend, so soak that up. Again, Tatjana Schoenmaker got gold medal in the 200 meter breaststroke at the Olympics. We'll delve into that and all of our Olympic hopefuls and some amazing results in just a moment.
Okay, well, we are taking a break from all of the sport talk, and it's time to whip up some breakfast. But I have to say, gone are the days of boring bowls of oats. We are giving it a bit of a makeover to our breakfast staple with our Fruits of the Forest fried oat cakes. Yes, you heard that right. It's going to be crunchy, it's going to be fruity, and very easy to whip up for that weekend breakfast vibe. And the person to join me for this recipe is the one and only G-Man.
Oh, I feel like you were about to announce a real chef, and then I was the only
No, but you're going to be here because, you know what? I still haven't mastered the art of making oats over the stove. I make overnight oats and I'm a pro at it.
I'm an instant oats, so maybe you and I can learn together. Okay.
Well, this is a very easy recipe, so I'm going to take you through it. So we're going to start off by adding our oats into our little pot over here.
Okay.
You can add a bit of water.
This is the oats?
Add all of our oats. We're going to add our water, and we're going to allow that to boil. So just make sure that the oven is on, the stove rather.
Oats is great. We've always used it in our pre-fight. It is on.
There we go.
But, it's great for the heart, beta-glucan, all of these really good heart healthy elements. But I find it fills you up, but it also activates the metabolism. So as much as, yes, it's a carb, a bit of this with a bit of protein powder in for me is a great way to start. But to do it slightly zhuzhed up like this, magic.
We're doing it differently, and of course we're also heroing our clover Fruits of the Forest. It is great with cereal. It has a creamy taste, there's a crunchiness, and of course a crunchiness of fruit and cereals. And it's perfect also for those snacking in between moments, and we also can really just enhance our fruity content. So what we want is a little bit of a boil, not too much water, because we're going to add our Fruits of the Forest to that. And then once it starts boiling, we can take it off the heat. We're going to add our Fruits of the Forest. I'll get going on that and give you a nice big scoop. We're going to use about a cup.
Nice.
There we go. This is a very generous cup. We're going to add that in there. And then once your oats have cooled down, we are going to simply add it to our little bowl that's pre-prepped here.
So obviously we're fast-forwarding the process here quite dramatically.
Fast-forwarding the process here. So we're going to let that stand, cool down, pop it into here once it's cooled down, and pop it in the fridge. So you can leave it overnight, and we'll be left with our oat squares.
I mean, you could eat those straight.
You can eat these straight, but of course we want to fry them. So I'm going to ask you to, there's some butter, and we're just going to brown them. Get those in there, and this really is a very easy recipe. It's a fun take on, just changing the oat breakfast menu up a bit. And we've got this recipe available for you. You can find it on expressoshow.com. There we go, melting the butter.
I'm enjoying it. I'm finding I'm cooking with butter a lot more now because of the flavor element. I'm realizing that there's just no substitute for the flavor of butter. So if you don't want the butter to burn, you can put a drop of oil in and then put the butter in it, which is quite nice because butter can often burn quite quickly. Okay.
There we go. So now we're going to brine them. I'm going to hand that to you.
Do this.
I love that I'm just standing here and telling you what to do.
Yeah, man.
This is my kind of cooking.
I feel like I'm learning something completely new. I love the fact that in this kitchen, at least once a day, I'll do something that I've never, ever done before.
But I love that we're taking a classic and we're just adding our own little unique spin to it.
Yeah.
And it's going to be, I honestly can't wait to try this.
I have to admit, when I came in and I saw the finished product just now, I was like, what is that? I gave it the monkey knuckle and I was like, what is it?
There we go. Well, it is our fried oat cake. So we've got some honey here while you're busy frying them up and giving it a nice golden brown. This is what we want it to look like. So
Oh,
I'm going
look
to
at
drizzle a little bit of honey over it.
Yummy.
And this is something different. This is a nice way to entertain the family. The kids will love this, and I'm being very generous with our honey here. And of course, you can also serve it with some of fruits of the forest on the side, and it's great for dipping.
You can dip it.
Do you want to try
great.
first?
It's
I go for
nutrition.
it?
You go for it. So you go for it.
Go for
I feel
it.
like I don't want to lose my.
And then you just give it a little bit of a dip, and then.
And?
This is great for breakfast on the go.
Yeah, I was thinking you can pack these into a lunchbox as well. I'm trying so hard, to get my boy to eat healthier things because he's going through that phase where he's really picky and he just texture messes with him, like, you know, something like this where I know that he's getting the nutrients, he's getting the energy that he needs, all of those lovely additives, but also being able to introduce the good healthy gut thanks to the yogurt. So I might give him like a small tub of the fruits of the forest and a couple of these, and he is winning at life. That is great.
You know what I would add to this if you really want to play around and just really zhuzh up your oat fried cakes? Add a little bit of cinnamon, even bits of apple. Apple and cinnamon with oats is always a winner.
But this is easy. So use this as the springboard to create your own. Maybe you want to throw in some berries in there. Absolutely delicious. But I think the key thing here is use the butter, get that lovely crispy kind of coating on it. And then you've got the texture, you've got the flavor, and you've got the nutrients. You can find this on expressoshow.com.
There we go. I'm very happy with this recipe.
Well
I'll
done.
make it again.
Yay.
Fruits of the forest from Clover just added real cereal crunch. A symphony of fruit, oats, seeds, and granola crunch. Fruits of the forest. Real fruit, real cereal, real taste.
Made with love by Clover. Oh, you can make my day.
Welcome back, beautiful souls. We're talking to somebody special right now, a legend and inspiration, a woman with a powerhouse name. It's Bianca Buitendag, and she won the Team South Africa's second medal at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics earlier this week. Now, the 27-year-old, who hails from Vic Bay on the Garden Route, won Olympic silver in the women's surfing final behind the USA's Carissa Moore. Now, Bianca announced that she will be retiring from the sport, and what a way to end off an absolutely impressive career, more than with an Olympic medal. Now, South Africa's silver surfer Bianca Buitendag joins us via video call all the way from Tokyo, Japan. Big round of applause, everybody!
Oh man, Bianca, a massive congratulations on your silver Olympic medal. How are you feeling? Has it sunk in?
I am overwhelmed, completely overwhelmed. I mean, the support from home has been great. Just the experience here in Tokyo, I mean, it's a chance in a lifetime, and I managed to walk away with a good result as well. So I'm very, very much pleased with my trip and the response from home. So very, very excited to get on the plane tonight and head back to my beloved country.
Oh, man, it's just so exciting hearing this. And on top of that, so exciting to see this sport at the Olympic Games. It's the first time ever that surfing was introduced to Olympics here at Tokyo. What was this experience like, and what did you enjoy most about the host city? I mean, everything a first for you. Tell us about it.
It was a big moment. Would be possible. So it's been a big moment. As I mentioned, it's very overwhelming. It's the biggest sporting event in the world, so it's a scale that we've never been introduced to before, and it was very exciting.
Has this made you reconsider retiring? Please say yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Please say yes. Come on. What was it like considering everything that you've been through to get here and knowing that this was probably going to be your last big platform to surf on? And I mean, to surf alongside Carissa in that final, just so awesome in that. But how cool is it being able to sign off with this?
Of course, I mean, you can't script this. I keep on saying, I obviously didn't have the expectation to walk away with a medal coming into the event. I was seeded number 17, which is really low. And I surprised myself, and I think many others. And it's just the perfect opportunity for closure to a career that is going to be a lifetime of 10 years of possibilities. So very grateful.
Yeah, I want to get down to the heart of this because, I mean, this is not just a silver medal and it's not just a normal wave. What happened and what I saw at those Olympic Games, the wave was messy. Those conditions were like some of the most challenging things I've ever seen. Yeah. I surf, or at least I try to. Nothing like you, though, but I mean, I don't know how you even handled that. Some mad shore breaks. What was the actual preparation like leading up to the Games and then experiencing this incredibly different and difficult condition?
Yeah. What clicked?
So, coincidentally, a typhoon hit the coast of Japan on the finals day, and the swell was enormous. It was torrential rain, the winds were just so strong. But luckily in South Africa, sometimes with big cold fronts coming from Cape Town, we've got similar situations, and I definitely have put in hours in those conditions before, but it was very tough competing in a 30-minute heat to be able to get good scores. So, it was a challenge, but I feel like it's difficult to stop a South African on a mission, and we managed to accomplish.
Yeah.
So that being said, now that we've bagged the silver medal at the Olympics, we've beaten some of the best in the world, and also I think athletes that were really in form at the moment. Yeah. That I think really needs to be said. And you've been off the circuit for a while now, so to get yourself back to that point must have taken a huge amount as well. But I've got to ask, what's next? Now that you've made the decision to retire, what's next on your agenda? What's the next mission?
So while I was on tour, I finished a financial degree. So I've got a tertiary education behind me, and I first got introduced to it, but I recently been more involved in an NGO in George, my hometown, called Life Community Services. And we are planning on building a primary school next year. So I'm very much looking forward to that. And it's my newfound passion. I mean, it makes me jump out of bed in the morning, and it's something that I shared when I first started surfing on the tour, and I just feel like it's in a very exciting chapter lying ahead.
Oh, well, it's exciting
That's
to know
incredible.
that the passion, of course, can still carry on. And, of course, just saying thank you once again for what you've done for the nation. Myself, G, the rest of the studio. I don't know, words can't describe.
I can
how proud
remember
we are.
interviewing you, I think, when you were about 17, to be honest, when you were kind of first embarking on this amazing journey and making these waves. So to see what you've been able to achieve, amazing. But to hear that you're pouring your efforts and intentions into building a school, into doing what you're doing within your own community, that makes me even more proud. So well done, and enjoy soaking up all of the attention, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot more of it over the coming days.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Oh, man, as a nation, we are so incredibly proud of all of our athletes competing in Tokyo. Congratulations once again to our silver surfer, Bianca Buitendag, for winning that beautiful silver medal in the women's surfing final. What a fantastic way to bow out of a sport that has given her so much, but that she has given so much to as well.
Oh, we are so proud of all of our athletes representing and flying that South African flag high. You might be wondering, where is Carl Wasty? Well, I think Bianca Buitendag's silver medal definitely gave him some inspiration for today.
It's your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Expresso here in S3 and on the beach at one of the warmest places in Cape Town right now. I am so cozy, you have no idea, but I am here with somebody who is one of the hottest surf instructors in the entire world. Yes, I'm inflating it, but it's okay, because Garth Reed, thanks a lot for joining us on the show today. We're out and about because we just want to, and we have to, because Bianca Buitendag, I must just say, what an incredible feat for us as South Africa. Yeah. A silver medal at surfing, first time ever that we got ourselves a silver medal at surfing. In fact, the first time surfing's been at the Olympics. So Garth, as a surf instructor, does it change the way you actually look at your training now? Because you could be training a future Olympian.
Definitely. It's very, very exciting. Instead of simply just coaching someone to share the stoke with or share the excitement, we could potentially be shaping someone's future forever. We could be coaching a future Olympian.
That's the best thing, eh? Did you say share the stoke?
Yes, share the stoke.
I'm learning surfing terminology. So share the stoke.
Share the stoke.
Brew. And then there's this as well, right?
Shakas.
Shakas, dude.
Both ways.
So if you're on Glencairn in Cape Town anytime, it's kind of like at the end of Simonstown. If you want to come visit us, please do. Visit a place called Eat Surf Yoga. You're the co-owner. What do you guys do there?
So Eat Surf Yoga. At Eat, we have Blended Health Cafe in Delhi.
Yes.
Surf is Surf Africa, Surf Shop and Surf School. And then yoga is yoga studio, lifestyle shop, and a health shop.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
In fact, Jamie Lee's going to do a bit of yoga a little later. Stick around for that. But for now, I'm looking for a good surf lesson.
Fantastic.
Because Bianca Buitendag inspired me. I want the next medal. So where do we start?
Okay, so there's three basic fundamentals.
Okay.
Simply is paddling.
Yeah.
Your pop-up to stand, and then your balance, obviously, to stay standing.
Okay, perfect. Let's do that. And also, I know there are different boards. So you get like the long board, the short board, the boogie board, and then the
body
washboard. So that's all the varieties. What are we using today?
We're using a longboard. It's an 8-foot longboard. Yeah, the longer the board, the easier the surfing.
Okay, 8-foot longboard. That is 4 times my height. Perfect. Right. So talk to me about how we're going to get started.
You lie on your board with the toes all the way at the back.
Here we go.
Cool. And then we paddle, paddle, paddle as hard as you can. And then once the waves caught you, you're going to pop up.
And then, so the pop-up, it's a quick pop-up, right?
It's simply like a push-up.
So it's not like the internet where you have to like block the pop-ups. You actually want to do this one. Okay, let's go.
So you put your hands on your shoulders.
Yes.
And then you simply pop up onto your feet. Yeah, keep those legs bent.
Okay,
yeah,
and we're just doing this.
Balance. Absolutely.
So there's
perfect.
a wave going. Because you know what I really want to do? I actually really want to, I want to get into the water. But it's only -85. I'm actually quite disappointed. But it's good that we're doing this now. So let's do that one more time. So that's the thing. And obviously the balance is quite important, right?
Yeah, very important. So you can carry on riding the wave.
Okay, this is good.
Obviously, the wave is a bit different to land. The water is constantly moving. The wave's always moving.
Okay,
yes.
so we're going to paddle. And then you're going to push me onto a wave.
Paddle,
you're going to just do
as
this
hard as you can.
And there we go.
Hands under your shoulders and push up. Perfect.
I can do the surfing thing again. This is so great, you know, because, I mean, I have never been for a surf lesson before.
Yet.
And I'm definitely going to come through to Eat Surf Yoga in Glencairn, just at the end of Simonstown in Cape Town, just to make sure. Because, I mean, this is, you know, there's something about surfing that every surfer has, and that's this peace with the ocean.
Yeah.
Is that something that you have to have?
No, that comes with being in the ocean. So the ocean actually makes you so much more positive.
It does indeed.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm hearing it in the background. There's a relaxation, which is quite beautiful as well. But just in terms of things that to not do on a surfboard, for anybody who wants to try and you want to go hit the waves, what are some of the things that you shouldn't be doing?
So one of the most important things is try not to catch the same wave as someone else.
Okay, I heard about that. There's like there's a hierarchy of waves. That's cool. And then apparently, don't ever turn your back or something like that on the ocean.
You don't ever want to turn your back in the wave, and you never want to put your board in between yourself and the wave.
Oh.
Yes, because it could be very dangerous. The board could hit you in the face. Yeah, it could really injure you.
And for anybody who wants to travel down to Cape Town just to visit, eat, surf, yoga, and enjoy Glencare like we are right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, how do we get hold of you guys and connect with you so we can get our first lesson?
So we're all over the social media, the Instagram, the Facebook. You can also just Google us, find us on the internet.
Oh, lovely, man. Garth Reed, what a legend this guy is. And you know what, if you are going to take a surf lesson, who knows, you could be the next Olympian and win yourself a medal like Bianca Buitendag that we heard from a little earlier in the show today. Jamie Lee will be doing some yoga on the same beach where it will be just a little bit warmer. We'll see that soon enough. And then, of course, later we've got some food because, I mean, it is eat surf yoga. So we're going to make sure that we get some eats going. I know there's something called a bao, which is going to be great. We also have something like a veggie burger. So stick around for that. We are surfing and cruising through your Friday on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. This is Expresso. One more time. Let's go.
One more time.
Paddle through.
Paddle, paddle, paddle.
Paddle.
Push up.
Push up.
And
You can do anything. All you need is determination. And a fresh pair of these, Nallis. But what's the point of looking like Injeke if your dreams go up in flames? In this world of doing it for a gram, do you want a bank that takes your money or a bank that takes your money seriously?
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back as we continue to chat sport and, of course, a firm focus on the Olympics. Right now, Team South Africa officially have a gold medal after swimming sensation Tatjana Schoenmaker shattered the world record in the women's 200-meter breaststroke to win Olympic gold. That happened earlier this morning. And as we head into the second week of the Tokyo Games, the best in the world will take to the track and field. That's where it goes down for the athletics schedule. That's kicking off this weekend. Sports anchor Jeremy Harris is here to tell us what we can expect direct from Team Nzanzi. Let's talk about what we've already seen and how excited we are. I remember covering her through varsity sports and thinking, wow, when she won the presidential award, wow.
She's quite a good swimmer.
Yeah, so this girl can move. I didn't have the expectation of an Olympic record, a silver medal, a world record, and a gold medal. Tatjana Schoenmaker, she is the outing for him. Maybe the mental game wasn't there. Maybe the COVID year kind of threw preparations out of sync. Sad not to see him in the final.
Sad, but I think that Chad has made his mark. I think that he has paved the way, and he has turned sport, or rather swimming, into a sport that a lot of youngsters will now want to jump in the pool for, and Tatjana as well, of course. But I think Chad must walk away and go, maybe I didn't take a medal, but I certainly have walked away with a lot of fans.
Yeah, undoubtedly, and we are behind him 100%. He's also such a lovely guy.
Great guy
as well. Like, really, I think for those of us on this side of the press, just so open, always willing to give his time, as you say, an inspiration. We turn to the track and field, obviously really excited about athletics kicking off for a number of reasons. Lest we forget, Dom Scott is going to be running in the 5,000 metres. We've had her on the show a couple of times. I follow her on Instagram, her insane training. She runs about 60 Ks every day at 55 Ks an hour. She could be a medal hopeful, but in a very strong field.
Yeah, very strong field, and I think that we're going to see the intensity, the level of competition is not going to sort of taper down. Just we move sort of into the open, onto the track and field, and I think that the South Africans, in fact, all of the countries are going to come up against some stiff opposition. Dom is going to feel it. But certainly, if she comes with the right mental approach, who's to say that she can't get her way through there?
SA versus Germany. Is this an anomaly? Is this crazy? Is this something we should be left jaws agape? Or is this a South African side that has had to work so hard just to get to the Olympics that now that they're there, they're not going to waste the opportunity? I mean, they beat medalists. Germany were medalists in Rio. That is a phenomenal performance, 4-3 against one of the best teams in the world.
Absolutely. Very, very happy for them. And I think that what it shows is that in spite of all of the resources, all of the money pumped into that German team, you can't hold down a South African team that largely has to fund itself and look after itself in terms of getting there. And they will want to, always shoot, above where they are. They will want to be the best, irrespective of what their conditions are and their resources are.
And it's vast, the difference in resources. Let's turn to tomorrow. Oh, my word. Triathlon starts, swimming, more finals. Equestrian starts, and we've got Victoria Legendere Scott competing in that. But let's turn to the athletics, my friend. We've got Wenda Nel, a stalwart, competing in the women's 400 metres. The long jump, Rushwell Sumai, Chelswell Johnson, but it's got to be all about the 100 metres.
Wow.
Is this his year? Akani Simbine, surely he's got to have the self-belief that he's got a gold, or at least a medal.
I think that a lot of people were going, we wanted the Olympics in 2020.
Yeah.
I think the extra year has given Akani Simbine just that extra bit of substance and strength and mental preparation. And I guess what I'm saying is, strap a medal onto that guy, because it's coming.
He's just been absolutely superb. He's also, you talk about lovely guys, he is just a wonderful human being. And we know for quite a while he kind of came as a package deal with another sprinter who we haven't seen performing for the longest time. We know his personal challenges. He's had to slay the dragon to get ready for these Olympics. Wade van Niekerk is going to be competing in the 400 metres. He's the world record holder. You cannot count him out. With trepidation, with a little bit of nerves, we look forward to him running again. How are you feeling about his chances?
Same story. I could say the same thing. 2020, but thank goodness for that extra year to give him a chance to recover from his injuries and to prep and to get through rehab and to get through the occasional breakdown. And he's there. He's there at the Olympic Games. Count him out if you dare. I challenge you. Count him out if you dare, because I promise you there's just so much determination inside Wade, and I wouldn't be surprised as well to see him in the final.
Yeah, man, I just have a feeling there's something special there, and there's certainly something special about the athletics, and of course that kicks off this weekend, running up until the 8th of August. And then we turn to Sunday's action, flying through it. Of course, we'll see Wade in action. Tapelo Pora, Zakiti Nene also in action there as well. Men's stroke pain golf, Garrick Hijo and Christian Bezuidenhout in action.
Well, looking good, I got to tell you. The two of them have been looking really good. A little bit of bad weather that they're going to have to work their way through.
I know, delayed today, yeah.
That counts for all of the golfers. And, Christian Bezuidenhout in particular, quiet guy, really goes about his business, but he's going to challenge.
Still waters, my friend, still waters. Then I'm going to tip my hat right now to a team that has obviously been in firm focus because of the massive disparity in results. We talk about the disparity in resources, in water polo. I want to say well done to both our men's and our women's teams. Some great individual performances because they are performing against juggernauts in the sport, and it's tough, and it really does highlight the difference between professional and guys who are just doing it for the love of.
Absolutely. I mean, it really is like a school's team playing against, you know, a world champion side, because it is that different in terms of the kind of resources that these big teams have. I mean, Hungary, the USA, Germany just destroying us. But I tell you what, the experience that we get from those matches to play against the best in the world.
Completely, yeah.
Will just always stand us in good stead.
Yeah,
and
man,
well done to them for flying the flag.
No, completely, man. I was going to say, you probably find one US university has more of an Olympic budget than our entire Olympic budget.
Exactly.
So you got to put it all in perspective. But this weekend, if you focus on nothing else, Akane Simbine in the 100 meters, he is going to get us gold when that time comes. Just don't blink. Exactly, buddy. You're a champion. Enjoy this weekend sport, man. Probably the best of the year that we've experienced, unless we forget the Springboks in action up against the British and Irish Lions. Hashtag stronger together wherever you are. Show some gees.
Well, if you're wondering, where is that girl with that golden, bubbly personality, Jamie Lee Domberg? Well, she's on Glen Beach with Carl Wasty and about to whip up a delicious smoothie.
And link to the ad. Good morning, everybody. Coming to you live from Glen Beach this morning. Now, listen, if you did manage to catch Carl surfing this morning, don't worry. I thought, you know what? Why do I not spoil him with a smoothie this morning? We are going to be making a smoothie. You guys know I love smoothies. It's where you can pack all your nutrients, all your vitamins, make sure that you're energized and fuller for the entire day. Today, we are going to be making a superfood blueberry smoothie. Yes, and we are incorporating that Clover Good Hope soy milk. Let me tell you, it is going to be soy good. You see what I did there? Layla Wallace, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm very good, and you?
Braving the cold with us this morning.
You know, this is what we live for. This is what we do.
You're the owner of Blended Cafe, and I was just thinking about this now. Blended Cafe, we're using a blender. Is there a connection? Am I reaching here?
Well, funny enough, a lot of people would think so, but when we came up with the name Blended, it had more to do with the yin and yang and finding a balance between like living a healthy, good life, but still enjoying good things. So the blender kind of just fit in as the business grew.
I'm calling that. Call it. I love the fact that you have a balance, and also your restaurant or the space that you have is all about being a vegetarian, about finding that balance in it. Speak to us more about the business.
So we started as a food truck about 8 years ago, doing festivals, catering, film jobs, and then from there we grew. And when we decided to open the restaurant, we as vegetarians and plant-based lifestyle livers, we didn't have anything in the deep south. So we thought, well, why not? We looking for it. There must be many other people looking for it too. So Blended was then born.
Well, we came to find you this morning to make us this superfood smoothie. It's all of my favorites. I have a smoothie every single day. So you're going to take us through your smoothie today,
sure.
and I'll show you what I add in as well. So
okay,
what do we have?
Perfect. So we call the smoothie the Blueberry Dream. We use frozen blueberries, some frozen bananas, some soaked dates, and some protein powder. The protein powder is packed with seven different types of superfoods, which is great when living a plant-based lifestyle, just to give you that extra protein boost for your day. And then we also be using the soya milk,
which again is so good.
Yes.
Do you know what I also do? Because I have a little one. My little one is about 2.5 years old. I throw in spinach here, so this is where you can get extra vitamin C, just to make sure that you get all that goodness in. So you're going to take us through it.
Perfect.
Throw it all into the blender.
Sure.
So the frozen bananas is going in. Frozen bananas for a frozen morning here on Glen Beach. Remember to connect with us. We are going to be doing some yoga today, some fashion as well. But we have to start off the day on a right note and make sure that we are fueled. Oops. I know Carl is so excited for the smoothie because he got to get some work in. He earned the smoothie this morning.
He earned it.
And then some dates. And I see that you've soaked it, because usually the first time I put dates in my smoothie, I used the pitted dates, of course, and then it was like so crunchy. There was little bits in.
Yes.
So let it soak, everybody. Make sure that you let it soak so that
it's just a lot easier to blend when they're soaked. Then you don't really feel the texture in your smoothie, which is great.
And of course that hero as well.
The blueberries, well, I hope our blender's going to mix this morning, but let's give it a go. Let's give it a go.
I feel like the universe is on our side this morning.
Yes.
And then of course that clover, good old soy milk going in for all that vitamins that we need just to kickstart our day and kickstart our immune system. Our immune system. That is already looking so good. Again, mamas, add that spinach in. Chia seeds as well, great.
Yeah. So in the protein powder, there is chia seeds as well, so it gives you that goodness.
Layla, you're the girl that you think that you are.
They won't even know the spinach is in it, though. So
absolutely
that's
not. Most of the time, it's like, hey, live your best life.
Just do a blend. Yeah, I don't usually use NutriBullets, so let's.
Hey! I told you the universe is on our side this morning. Give it a nice blend. Oh yeah. All of that goodness going in there. I think it's good. Definitely. Okay. And obviously the final result is going in.
Oh.
One for me, one for Carl. I know he's excited.
Do you want to give it a go? You're going to call. We might need you to
Hello.
open our blender for us.
Do you know what the most embarrassing thing is, right? You can't open something on TV. That's the most embarrassing thing. It might work. Okay, but it worked today.
It worked.
I broke my
There
wrist.
we go.
I'm just kidding. Okay, cool.
You are obviously, I made the smoothie for you just to feel after that because I saw that you were put in your paces with that surfing lesson.
No. The thing is, I was the stoke was shared. You understand what I'm saying? The stoke was shared.
Stoke was shared.
Yeah, that's correct. So we learned a lot about surfing. Honestly, Jamie Lee, it was the most amazing experience of my life. And I actually was told that when waves break, the negative ions, right, actually increase, which makes your body more positive. And there's nothing more positive than a good old smoothie from people that eat surf yoga.
And Layla, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Tell me what you think about it.
It's very nice. Do you put berries in here?
We did.
I thought so.
It's a blueberry team, but listen, let me tell you, everything is coming to you from Glen Beach this morning. We have fashion, we have yoga, we have Friday dance fitness coming your way. So stick around here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
So, we've had classic fashion from Timby, classic cars, thanks Chad, and we've seen classic hairstyles. And you, Michael? Classic!
A classic range from Clover. Timeless taste.
Made with love by Clover. Oh, you can make my day.
they're not the school of pop, the school of smooth jazz, the school of world music. They are the school of rock, and they're here to rock out. We're going to reconnect with this incredible creative collective in just a moment before they bring us some awesome performances. Then you can go get your sweats on, because we're going to get down to some yoga on Glen Beach as well. But first, let's get back into those news headlines with Zoe.
Thank you, Graham. It's 7 o'clock, starting with national news. The Road Traffic Management Corporation has warned motorists that the deadline for the renewal of licenses, which expired between 26 March and 31 December 2020, is fast approaching. The national lockdown imposed on the country last year forced licensing centres to close, resulting in a backlog. The Minister of Transport then announced on an extension for all learners' licenses, driving licence cards, temporary driving licenses and professional driving licenses until the end of August this year. And the KwaZulu-Natal government has declared a state of disaster in the province due to the magnitude of the damage caused by the recent civil unrest. This will not only allow the province to access national government relief, but also support the reprioritization of budgets to implement the repairs and recovery programs, the province said in a statement. The estimated cost amounts to 1.58 billion rand, of which 47.7 million rand is required by municipalities. Moving to news abroad, Australia is to return 14 artworks to India. The National Gallery has identified the works as either stolen, looted, or of unknown origin. The collection is composed largely of religious and cultural artifacts, including some dating back to the 12th century. 13 of the works are connected to alleged trafficker Subhash Kapoor, a former Manhattan art dealer who was the subject of an extensive FBI investigation. The gallery has already returned several other works it acquired via Kapoor, including a $5 million bronze statue of the Hindu god Shiva. And the UN's food agency has warned that it will run out of humanitarian food aid in Ethiopia's Tigray region today, as hundreds of thousands of people in the region already face famine conditions. The UN's top humanitarian official, Martin Griffith, yesterday pointed to a range of challenges on top of the impacts of the conflict associated with floods, a desert locust infestation, chronic food insecurity, and the COVID-19 pandemic. In the Tigray region alone, an estimated 5.2 million people, or about 90% of the population, need humanitarian assistance. And on the 12th of April, Lufundo Mavungo, a 15-year-old at Mbului Secondary School in Limpopo, was viciously assaulted by a fellow learner at school. A video of the humiliating and violent attack was circulated on social media. Sadly, Lufundo died shortly afterwards as a result of suicide. Lufundo's victimization and her tragic death once again highlighted the scourge of bullying in South African schools. This is one of the reasons why South Africa can't wait to lay hands on our talented reigning Miss SA Shuru Musida's children's book, Shuru Finds Her Magic, that's inspired by her own experiences of being bullied as a child. She says it's a story of struggle and hope and falling down and getting back up again, and of the incredible journey we call life. The book will be available in 6 African languages and in bookstores towards the end of August. More on this later in the show, right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Well, on that note, that's where I leave your morning headlines for now. Here's another look with Graham at your sport.
Thanks. So let's start with Olympics. Obviously dominating this morning. South Africa's Tatiana Schoenmaker. She set a new world record in the women's 200-meter breaststroke to win Olympic gold at the Tokyo Games. Schoenmaker, who is already a silver medal winner, clocked a time of 2 minutes and 18.95 seconds to break the record. The 24-year-old not only won South Africa's first gold medal, but became the first person to set an individual world record in Tokyo this year. Compatriot Kelly Corbett, who was swimming in the same event, finished in 5th place with a pretty strong time of 2 minutes and 22.06 seconds. Then South Africa's most decorated Olympian, Chad le Clos, yesterday failed to reach the men's 100-meter butterfly semi-finals at the Olympic Games. The 29-year-old will be leaving Tokyo empty-handed after finishing 6th in his heat with a time of 51.89 seconds. Le Clos finished 18th overall, with the top 16 only qualifying for the semi-finals. Then staying at the Olympics, the South African men's hockey team caused a major upset at the Tokyo Olympics after stunning Germany 4-3 in their Pool B clash yesterday. Germany won bronze at the last Olympic Games in Rio and have a world ranking 9 places above South Africa. Goals by Matt Juice-Brown, Keenan Horn, Nick Spooner and Mustafa Kasim sealing South Africa's first victory in the tournament. Then world number 1 Novak Djokovic, he will be facing Alexander Zverev in the men's tennis semi-finals at the Tokyo Games. Djokovic, who is chasing that golden Grand Slam, beat home favourite Japan's Kai Nishikori in straight sets 6-2, 6-love in only 70 minutes to advance, sending quite a message. And the German 4th seed Zverev, he booked his place in the semis after seeing off France's Jeremy Chardy 6-4, 6-1 in their last 8 match. Now turning away from the Olympics, there is Test rugby on the way this weekend. The second test of the Lions series between the Springboks and the British and Irish Lions will kick off in Cape Town tomorrow evening. South Africa will be looking to level the series. They'll need to, in fact, after the Lions took that 1-0 lead when they won the first test, 22-17. Bok prop Stephen Kitsoff will earn his 50th test cap, and Jasper Visser has been named at number 8 in this crucial clash. Lions coach Warren Gatland, he's also made 3 changes to his starting 15 with Connor Murray, Chris Harris and Marco Vinipolo, has been brilliant off the bench, all coming into that starting lineup. The match between the Boks and the Lions will kick off at 6 p.m. at the Cape Town Stadium tomorrow. Well, we'll touch on those headlines again at 8 o'clock right now. Let's see what the weather has in store.
Thank you, Graham. And just a quick news update for you. A powerful 8.2 magnitude earthquake, which struck just off Alaska's southern coast yesterday afternoon, caused prolonged tremors and prompted tsunami warnings that sent people scrambling for shelters. The U.S. Geological Survey said it generated small waves, but no major tsunami. The earthquake hit 91 kilometers southeast of the town of Perryville at some 50 kilometers below the surface of the ocean. The U.S. Tsunami Warning Center immediately issued a tsunami alert for South Alaska and the Alaskan Peninsula. It initially warned of hazardous waves over the next 3 hours, but after nearly 3 hours, it downgraded the tsunami threat alerts to advisories. The quake lasted around 2 minutes. Several other earthquakes, some with magnitudes of 6.2 and 5.6, occurred in the same area within hours of the first. And we remain in Alaska for our international city being featured for this morning. And as that, we head on over to Anchorage. It is Alaska's most populous city and contains nearly 40% of the state's population. Anchorage lies almost equidistant from New York City to Tokyo, and as such is a common refueling stop for international cargo flights. There are also boats, a diverse wildlife. In fact, they boast a diverse wildlife population within the urban Anchorage as well as surrounding areas. Everything from black bears, grizzly bears and moose as some of the common sightings in Anchorage. And today, if you're there, you can expect cloudy conditions with a cool maximum of only 17 degrees Celsius. And bringing it back to our South African shores, we have a couple of sunrise photos sent in by one of our regulars, and we want to share it with you. Gary Orcom from East London starts us off with another great sunrise over the ocean. We move a little further up the coast to Durban, where Vincent Lutuli shared yet another great photo of the sun coming up over the hills in the distance. Well, Gary and Vincent, thank you for those images, and if you at home would love to share your sunrise photo with us, please do so on the Expresso Facebook page. We love seeing how and where you start your day. Well, let's look at those temperatures. If you're in Polokwane, expect a low of 5, a high of 19. A sunny day ahead in Mbombela, a low of 8, a high of 22. Pretoria 622, Johannesburg 4 with a high of 19, Mahikeng 423, Klerksdorp 1 reaching a high of 22, Kimberley your low is 2, your high 21, Bloemfontein -3 reaching a high of 21, Richards Bay 1322, Pietermaritzburg 7 with a high of 22, sunny conditions in Durban with a high of 21 for today, Mthatha expect a high of 22, East London 10 reaching a high of 20, Cradock 2 with a high of 22 for today. Sunny in Gqeberha, a low of 8, a high of 19. George 9 reaching a high of 19. Cape Town 9 with a high of 19. Partly cloudy conditions in Worcester with a high of 22. Sutherland 3 reaching a high of 17. And Uppington, a sunny day ahead with a low of 5 and a high of 25 degrees Celsius. Well, that's where I leave your weather for now. If you have a beautiful sunrise photo that you'd love to share with us, please do so on the Expresso Facebook page.
I have a feeling we're about to be treated to a beautiful sunrise live as we head back to Glen Beach in Glencairn to bring a little zen to the morning with some yoga with Jamie.
Friday without some Friday fitness. Today we're going to be doing a yoga flow for you. Now, of course, Gelda Walsh is here today with us from the studio Glencairn to take us through this flow this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
We are so spoiled today. I mean, who can say they are doing yoga 7 o'clock in the morning with on the beach, right?
We're very lucky.
I want to find out more about the studio Glencairn. I mean, tell us about the packages, or just tell us about the classes that you provide here, and also who you'd recommend it for.
We have classes for everybody. We don't just do yoga. The yoga ranges from kids yoga to seniors yoga with various styles. We also offer Pilates, Tai Chi, Kung Fu, boxing.
Oh, yeah.
Something called Ageless Grace, which is like a brain gym. We do belly dancing. So we have so many activities. We also, the facilitators, offer various healing modalities at the studio and in the rooms. We offer sound healing, massage, aromatherapy, and Hawaiian.
Oh, so we are
energy healing.
Choice.
Yeah.
Spoiled for choice when you come to the studio. But today, obviously, we're going through a yoga flow.
Yeah.
Where do we begin? How do we get into it?
Okay, we're going to start on our hands and knees.
Okay, Mzansi, you can follow along with us. Mommy, auntie, everyone, get them out of bed right now. We are starting this Friday on the right note.
So your knees under your hips.
Yes.
You want your fingers beautifully spread with your wrists under your shoulders. Just rotate those shoulders back so you've got space between the tops of the shoulders and the ears. Nice, beautiful length in the spine. As you exhale, pull the belly button up towards the spine, rounding the back, tucking the chin in. As you inhale, lengthen through the table. Tailbone up, chin up. 2 more. In your own breathing rhythm, exhale, round the back. Inhale, lengthen. Tailbone up, chin up. Last one. Being aware of how the body feels as you stretch like a cat. And ending in the table.
This breeze coming here, the waves crashing is really the backdrop of the back sound for this morning's flow session.
Bring your big toes together and just stretch it out, forehead on the mat. And uncurl up, bringing the chin and head up last. Just doing a little twist, taking your left hand on the side of the right knee, right hand on the back of the hip, and just gently create some tension as you turn around to look over the shoulder, release and do the other side. Oh, just enjoy that twist. And release, coming back onto all fours now. Fingers off the mat, thumbs facing forward. Curl the toes under, check your shoulders are away from the ears. Push into the hands and the feet and lift the tailbone to kiss the sky. Bring those shoulders away from the ears, open up at the back of the heart and move. 1 heel down at a time, wagging the tail. Chin is parallel. Ears are alongside the arms. And then walk your hands back.
coming into standing, shifting your weight to your feet, checking that all four corners of your feet are connected. If you have lower back issues, stay like this.
Okay.
Otherwise, you can heel toe your feet together and lock your knees. And just hanging for a breath or two, finding that release, tailbone through crown. Deep breath in and out. And then drop the buttocks, pull the belly button in and roll up, unfolding that spine, one vertebra at a time. Bringing the arms all the way up, hands in prayer position. Reach up out of the hips, push down into the earth, lock the knees, feeling like a tree trunk from the hips down, lengthening up from the hips up. Open up the arms, activating the hands. Feel that the shoulders are away from the ears. And take a moment to greet the day. Visualizing the sun shining down on you, rooted in the earth. And slowly lower the arms into the mountain, feeling strong and ready for the day.
Gelder Walsh, I think that you just set the pace for this entire Friday, making sure that we're really just in the flow, just being present in this Friday, getting you started for this weekend, and also the brand new month that is awaiting for us. This is Gelder Walsh from the studio, Glen Ken. Hit her up on her social media pages to connect with her and also find out how you can do this yoga session with us. But let us know what you thought of that Expresso Morning Show on S3. Back to you guys in studio. One more time, we can go.
Nourish your skin with Ingram's tissue oil and rich body care range for 48-hour rich moisture. Ingram's, your skin, your brave.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You are live with Expresso. If you've been wondering why I've been buzzing like a school kid this morning, it's because I know what's in store for us. The School of Rock are here. But to give you a broader perspective, the School of Rock is where music and learning come together. And now there is a fantastic opportunity to expand this world-renowned school. The South African Master Franchise Agreement will offer opportunities for individuals and investors to open School of Rocks. I don't know if that's how you say it, School of Rocks, around the entire country, from Cape Town to Johannesburg, Durban, you name it. And this morning, the owner of the existing School of Rock in Claremont, Lee Spawn, is here to chat a little bit about bringing this exciting franchise to life across the country, along with vocalist and guitarist Caitlin Waldo, Zachary Price, who's on the guitar, and Matthew Keswell, who's going to be banging his little heart out on the drums just now. Guys, I've been listening to you sound check, obviously, all morning. Just awesome. They're a tough act to follow, Lee.
They are. I mean, these really are the rock stars. I can't lie. I mean, I think well, actually, all three of them have been with us for the past 5 years, actually. Even going on 6, I think. So they're really, I mean, they're consummate professionals. I mean, you wouldn't actually think that they're actually school-going kids. They are insane musicians.
Let's be honest, yeah. You are better than most of the adult musicians we have on this show. And I say that without any glint in my eye. It's the bottom line. It's the truth, because they get to invest in the time that they need. For the uninitiated, for those few that have been sleeping under a rock, what is the School of Rock?
Well, I mean, School of Rock, it's a music school franchise from the States. We are the first ones in Cape Town, so we opened this business 6 years ago. And I think I've been on the show twice now with you talking about School of Rock and just the amazing opportunities that it gives to aspiring musicians from all ages. I mean, our youngest student is 3 years old and our oldest is in their 80s. So it really is a music school for everyone. It teaches you so much more than just music. I think, I mean, if you just chat to some of our student musicians and just get a feel for what they've taken out of the whole proposition and the whole process of being at School of Rock. I mean, they've obviously learned their skill and they've become such solid musicians in their own right. They obviously play together as a band. But they've also learned a lot about just self-confidence and teamwork, and so and they've become a nice community at School of Rock. Everyone there has become such amazing friends, and
you find your place in the world,
yeah,
which
100%.
is such a powerful thing. The opportunity now to expand this family is such an exciting thing for the music industry in South Africa. Talk us through the new franchising agreement. How's this going to work, and how do people, investors, people who have the same passion and love for music as you do, get on board?
Yeah, so, I mean, we're looking at our visions to open 40 schools around the country. Just before lockdown, we did a sort of survey of South Africa and just explored the sort of greater South African area. And we have earmarked 40 locations in all the major city centres, obviously Durban, Johannesburg, Pretoria, Cape Town, PE, anywhere where there's a community or tribe of people who want to be part of music. And we're looking for individuals who share the same passion that we do. And I mean, like, you don't necessarily have to be into music to start this business. You can have a business acumen, have a passion for teaching, a love for children,
for growing young people.
And those are the things that are really important in this business. I don't come from a musical background, but yet I've found something absolutely incredible about this business. What it's taught me as a person is just amazing, and it really is one of the most inspiring brands that I've actually had the pleasure of working on.
Yeah, and I've had the pleasure of encountering through the hundreds that have crossed our doors. Caitlin, I'm going to start with you. You're out in front, you're rocking, you're on the axe, you're singing. What has being a part of the School of Rock meant to you personally?
I feel like as a musician I've grown like immensely, and in ways that wouldn't have been possible without being part of something like School of Rock, because I've sort of learned new ways of communicating with people, not even like in music, but also like outside of music. And yeah, and I've learned a lot of skills as well. And you learn a lot on a social aspect in terms of like working with other people, and
you get to rock out.
Yes,
you get to rock out on the daily. Zach, I'm going to call you because we know each other like that. It just looks like you guys have the most amount of fun. Yes, it's about learning, but you have an opportunity here to express yourself. How good does it feel to be able to connect with like-minded people who have the same passions, to have this kind of platform?
It's a really fantastic opportunity. I mean, oftentimes you get into a classroom and you have no idea what to expect because, I mean, while we're all like-minded, I, for example, am more orientated to playing rock and blues. And then we have a bassist who's like more orientated towards funk. And you get this weird kind of amalgamation of sounds that make something really cool, and you're forced to play in a different way.
And that's how an album starts, I'm telling you. That's how an album starts, man.
Yeah, it's super fun. I love it.
Matthew, you know, I want to say, where are you going? Where's the career going to be? But you guys have kind of started it already. Does it feel like this is where you're at? And how do your folks and your family feel about you being this immersed in music? Are they okay with you pretty much starting a band and becoming a superstar musician? Because this is pretty much where you're headed.
Yeah, I think my family's been pretty supportive of me. Like, I remember when I first started at School of Rock, I was really just doing it to like as a hobby, like, because I just thought drumming was cool. But like, as soon as I joined like the performance program and like started meeting all these amazing musicians, like the ones sitting here, like it became my passion, like properly. Like now, pretty much every day I'm doing something musical, and yeah, I've grown a huge love for it because of School of Rock. I think it's really helped me in lots of ways in terms of music.
You're doing something really special, Lee. Really, really special. And we've got to see the fruits of the labours with those past students who have gone on to do amazing things. For me, what I love being as old as I am is I know that in 5, maybe 10 years, I'm going to interview you guys again. And you just have to remember me from when it all began, OK? When you're world famous and you're rocking out on international stages, we are going to rock out in the studio. The sound check has been insane. You are going to be blown away at how talented and just comfortable, effortless these performances come together on the show. The School of Rock is here and they're here to perform just for you.
Oh, well, listen, we're having a lot of fun in studio and, of course, on location. Carl Wasey and Jamie Lee Domberg, they're coming to us live from Glen Beach, and they're about to whip up something even incredible.
Thank you so much, Zoe. We are still here in Glen Cairn, which is a lovely place just past the Simonstown area. If you're coming to Cape Town, come visit us. So we've done a lot of things today. I got a surfing lesson from the one and only Garth Reed, okay? We did a smoothie. We got a yoga session as well, but now you, Layla Wallace, from this beautiful blended health cafe in Delhi, you are going to show me something called Baobab mayonnaise.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so Baobab mayonnaise, like, let's just talk about it for a second. Like, what is it? Because I know a baobab is like a tree, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's a tree. So the baobab fruit comes from the baobab tree in Africa. So they use the fruit from the tree and create a baobab powder, which is very high in vitamin C, and it's a great alternative to normal mayonnaise. So for plant-based people, people who don't like the normal mayonnaise, this is a great and easy alternative.
That's so cool. So are you saying that that powder kind of replaces one of the normal constituents
yes,
of the mayonnaise?
so it gives it that thick and creamy texture along with the olive oil and the other ingredients. All together, it gives you a nice creamy consistency.
This is so cool. Okay, let's talk about the ingredients before we get there, because we're going to do a whole blend thing.
Yes, like we'll have to blend it. Just like blended.
In Delhi. Check it out. Okay, so here we go. So let's start off. I'm seeing turmeric.
Yes, so we've got some turmeric that gives it a nice color, and then we've got some organic coconut sugar, the baobab powder, some water. We use filtered water.
Yes.
Then we have some apple cider vinegar, crushed garlic, some salt, and then of course olive oil.
Indeed.
One of the main
It's
ingredients.
kind of nice in the Clover Olive Pride, because this one is the one that's endorsed by the Heart and Stroke Foundation, and it's just got that nutty flavor, so it's going to add a nice background sort of flavor when it comes to that. So this is going to be great. Okay, let's put it all together. Are there any sort of, because I know when it comes to blended stuff, do you put the liquids in first? Because I know when I do a smoothie, I do that.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter as long as you have enough liquid to blend it. And with something like this, you're not using bigger ingredients like bananas, so you can just throw it all in and mix it up. And then usually, in the restaurant, we see the consistency and we add things as needed.
So the mayonnaise itself, I mean, this one can be applied to, we're talking about burgers, we're talking about sandwiches, we're talking about every single thing, right?
Chips, we serve it with our wedges, we serve it on our burgers, we sell it. There's no time you can't eat it.
You must come to Cape Town, you must come to Glen Cairn, because can I tell you, the people are so chilled here, they don't have a cairn in the world. That's why they call it Glen Cairn. Just letting you know. Right, can we put it together?
Let's do it. So let's chuck our baobab in.
Okay, baobab goes in. Ready to go.
Coconut sugar.
The coconut sugar is also quite fascinating. It's got quite a nuttiness to it, which I really enjoy. And then the turmeric, just for a bit of color.
A little bit of color, your salt.
Seasoning.
We'll use some garlic.
Garlic sounds good to me. I mean, everything with garlic.
Everything with garlic, exactly. We've got our apple cider vinegar.
Perfect.
We won't use all of it.
Apple cider vinegar. And then we're going to do that filtered water, you say, right?
Yes.
That's fine. We're actually supposed to mess. That's part of the brief.
You can't cook without messing.
We have to mess just a little bit. It's important. You know, that's how it goes. And then we're going to go into some of our Clover Olive Pride.
Exactly.
It's the magic ingredient, because this is going to put it all together, you know, when it comes to mayonnaise.
Puts it all together.
Because usually you get that blender blitz thing that they do, so cool on those cooking shows. But this one with the baobab powder, I'm actually really excited to see how this is going to come together.
So usually we'd measure it, but I'm just using the eye today.
Who measures when you're in a beautiful place like this?
Exactly.
Why would you want to measure when you have a scenery like this? There's an ocean behind me. It's beautiful. It's green. It's mountains. It's absolutely gorgeous. Okay. Now, somebody from Blended Health Cafe in Delhi is about to blend.
Let's blend.
Spoiler alert. Okay, now already consistency-wise, I'm seeing it.
You can see it changing, yeah.
So there's something about the baobab powder.
Yes, it definitely gives it that extra.
Indeed.
Yeah. So I do see that I added a little bit too much water.
That's why they add the water. Okay,
exactly.
It's okay. Shall we just break it down there and then... See, this is the joys of cooking, is that, you know what, you're not going to get it right the first time, maybe not the second time, but you know what, you never fail if you keep on trying. And that's exactly what we do, right? So, okay, let me just do this for you, because I've got your back.
Yeah, you got my back.
Yeah, we are part of this.
And
this is the beautiful thing about a Friday, is that I don't want you to take yourself too seriously on a Friday. You just want to make sure you mix that all in. Okay, I think I've done the job of getting that all through.
Get it all through. I can see some on this side.
There we go. And this is going to be the moment where you're going to get that beautiful consistency, and you're going to want to keep this in your fridge. In fact, any idea how long this would probably keep in a fridge if you make it from scratch like this?
You can keep it for about 2 days. It's always best because it's preservative free, and then you can just taste it.
Yeah.
But it could last up to 3-4 days in your fridge.
That's beautiful. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
So we are good to go. Now this is going to be the blend that we are looking for.
This is going to be the blend.
That's right. It's like my favorite song from Blender Fussy, Weekend Special. It's beautiful, really is. Here we go. This is the moment. You're going to want to see this and want to try this. Oh, any idea? So we can get the Baobab powder from your cafe.
You can get it from us. There's quite a few online shops that sell it as well.
Perfect. Let's blend it up and see that finished product. Yes! Okay, there we go. Now it's working.
Yeah.
And then, just to finish off, I want to give that a taste. That's going to be great.
So I'm also not used to a Nutri-Bullet, so...
No problem. I'm tasting this. Remember, if you want to get the recipe, go to expressoshow.com. I'm tasting this now. Just like mayo. Let's give it a shot this weekend. expressoshow.com. Grab the recipe. It's lovely.
Awesome.
Now, we'll be right back on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Glen Kane is lovely. You know, you're wow.
Made with love by Clover. Only you can make my day. It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Our next guest, Yoza Mnyanda, one half of the music and parenting duo known as Darky Fiction, and their gorgeous daughter, Bayete, have been hard at work translating words into their home language through the Cadbury Dairy Milk in Our Own Words online translator, much like we've been doing and loving doing every morning in studio with you, our viewers.
Loving it so much. So let's find out how these translated words have been used to co-author amazing stories for children to enjoy in the languages that they speak, and also the importance of this initiative for children's literacy skills, with a roundup and also review on some of these enchanting tales. Good morning to both of you. Look at the face!
Look at it! Oh my word!
Good morning. We're good, thanks. How are you?
Oh my word!
Just a little bit broody. Just a little bit broody right now.
My heart just literally exploded in my chest. Those cheeks. Those cheeks. Oh my word. Just so sweet, man. Well, I've got to ask, how are you enjoying reading the short stories written in your home language that have been produced by this, what is nothing short of an inspiring initiative?
Yeah, I'm loving it. Bayete, since she was born, we've really made it a point to read isiXhosa to her. So this is just helping so much because it's not an easy thing to find. It's not an easy thing to find Xhosa content on the internet. It's not an easy thing to find books. So this is just amazing.
No, for sure. And how exactly are children who read and also just hear engaging stories regularly in language they understand more equipped and also motivated to learn to read and write?
Yeah, it's amazing. I think it also like gives her so much confidence. There's books where she literally sees herself in the characters, and you can see what that does for her. She literally just gets so excited and so happy if she sees hair like hers, or skin like hers. So it's really, really good.
And clearly it's having an effect because she's a talker. I love that.
A singer maybe even.
Oh, chip off the old
She's
block.
she's telling me to write now.
Oh, man, it's just beautiful. Oh, daughters are the best. I've got to ask, though, which one of the enchanting African language tales so far has been your favorite, and why do you guys love it so much?
We like Into Eketek Leyo, which is something special, translated. It's just a story about a girl on a farm with her grandma, and she's just having the time of her life. And it reminds me so much of my daughter because her grandma also lives on a farm and she has chickens and she loves the chickens. So I think she sees herself in that story the most. And when she sees chickens, she just goes crazy. So yeah,
don't we all,
really
man? Don't we all?
I'm going to put you on the spot right now. Would you mind reading a passage from it?
Oh my goodness. Okay, cool. Yeah, I will. Okay. Into Eketek Leyo. Keep, ngenani. Nina nitsho ngobuhle rhoqo ngokuhlwa. Umakhulu kaJasmine wayebiza iinkukhu zakhe ukuba zize kulala aze azivalele ngaphakathi ukuzigcina zikhuselekile kwizilwanyana ezilambileyo. So yeah, that's basically
Oh,
the
man.
passage.
And she's looking at you like, is it story time? I didn't know it was story time. Is it story time? How
She's
does it...
ready. She like stopped.
I know, she's absolutely enthralled, as were we, actually. How does it make you feel to be able to read a story like this in your home language?
Yo, it feels amazing. It's also testing me because there's so little Xhosa books and everything. I'm out of practice of reading isiXhosa because speaking isiXhosa and reading isiXhosa are two different things.
Yeah.
So I'm also learning so much more and practicing, and I'm getting better even. So it's amazing for all of us, really.
And you just do this so beautifully, and you can see that she's really just so captivated by when you're reading to her.
Thank you so much. It's such a nice thing. Thanks.
Oh, man, you guys are getting it right on so many levels. Thank you so much for joining us this morning and bringing that little slice of heaven for us to see. Those cheeks are going to inspire me for the rest of my day. But you're an absolute gem, and I'm so glad that you're a part of this process and able to celebrate your beautiful language in this way. But thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me, for having us.
Oh, bye-bye, cutie pie.
Itty bye-bye. Itty bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Guys, I'm done.
Oh, I just want to go home to my daughter. I want my daughter with me right now.
Can I go
give it to
cuddle
me.
her as well? I'll
Bring it in. We can all have a cuddle. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, man.
So cute. But listen, Mzansi, with only a few weeks left, you can help Cadbury Dairy Milk ensure that all children can enjoy enchanting African language tales in their own language by translating just one word and also co-authoring a library of African language children's stories, #in our own words. Now, all you have to do is visit cadbury.co.za and at Cadbury Dairy Milk SA on Facebook or at Cadbury_SA on Twitter and Instagram to start sharing your words.
Well, we are rocking out with School of Rock here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and they are standing by to perform the track Bamboozled by Love by the late American musician, composer, and songwriter Frank Zappa. Now, this rock anthem featured on Zappa's Tinseltown Rebellion album that was released in 1981. Now, School of Rock, they will be performing their rendition of this song, so all I'm going to say is, take it away. Show. You guys are absolute rock stars. That was incredible. Don't go anywhere because they're going to be here rocking out 2 more songs for us, so don't go anywhere.
A promise to the planet to be gentle and treat nature with kindness. So there's always trees to climb, to plant the seeds for a better future. Woolworths, the difference.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
with your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso on S3. Let's open up to some learning this morning. The last thing a child needs, Graham, and you'll agree to this, when starting at a new school in a new province, for example, is to be bullied and made to feel like an outcast. Yet that's exactly what our Miss South Africa 2020, Shudu Fadzomosiwa, experienced when she was a child. And she is now sharing this story in a brand new children's book. It's called Shudu Finds Her Magic, in which she gives hope to children who have been victims of bullying.
Yeah, and Shudu is now joining us via video call to share more about this exciting highlight and achievement, one of many at the moment. So let's give her a very warm Expresso welcome. Shudu, welcome back. So good to connect with you again. First of all, how are you during these crazy times? How have you been keeping?
I've been keeping afloat. I'm good. How are you guys?
Shudu, you're fantastic. Thanks so much for making the time. Now, the ability to build confidence during your formative years is crucial, and bullying is incredibly destructive of that process. But what experiences of bullying did you have as a child, and how did you find that had an impact on you?
So as you said earlier, I moved to a new school when I was 9, and when I got there, I was immediately made to feel like I was an outcast. I could barely speak any of the languages there because I came from a small village in Venda, and that seemed to be the reason why I had a target on my back. And the one thing that children want is to just fit in and feel like they belong, you know? And that's exactly what I wanted, but it just got worse. It turned into 7 years of bullying until I moved schools when I was in grade 9, beginning of grade 9, and I moved to Johannesburg. But those years were just terrible. I remember I got to a point where I was an extrovert, like I was a proper extrovert. When I was growing up with the Fia Papa, like that was me. But when over the years from grade 9 from grade 3 up to grade 9, I found myself losing my sparkle, my magic, and I became such an introvert. I kept to myself because I just didn't want to give them reason to hurt me anymore.
That is heartbreaking to know that you went through that, but I think more so to know that so many young people, children, are going through that. You have said that no one should have to go through what you went through. What difference would having a book like this have made to you when you were a child? And how are you hoping that it's going to help to empower children who get a hold of it today?
I had a conversation with a psychologist friend of mine, and we were speaking about how kids experience mental health struggles from a young age, but they just don't have a name for it. I feel like having a book like this would have made me be easy on myself, because I was wondering why I was always so anxious, why I felt the way that I did, why I felt lack of self-love, and so many other things. But if I could put a name to it, if I knew that it was not my fault, if I knew that I could speak to someone about it and get the help that I needed, then life could have been completely different. Yes, eventually I got the help that I needed, but I was 19 when I got help. It was many years later, because you never know what that bullying does to you, what it does, especially in your formative years, you know, like you grow up with that thing that you're not good enough, where you just want to hide in the shadows because you just feel like if you put yourself out there, people are going to hurt you, people are going to laugh at you for failing if you are going to fail, so you never try at anything. But then I finally started seeing a psychologist, and I want that for kids, not for them to necessarily see a psychologist, but then to be able to identify their mental health struggles and be able to speak to someone about it. When they're being bullied, I want them to be able to speak to their parents, their teachers, and people around them, you know, because kids need safe spaces and to be able to identify when they're struggling, especially with their mental health. And I believe that that's the way to destigmatize mental health in our society, by educating from a young age.
Yeah, completely. Just speak to someone.
And you've made this a mission of yours since you became Miss South Africa. Shining the spotlight on mental health issues has been so important to you. Tell us more about your hashtag Mindful Mondays Instagram live sessions, which I absolutely love. I mean, they've been a great platform for people to engage with you on these important matters, but let's hear more about it.
So Mindful Mondays, so the book Mindful Mondays and all the work that I've been doing is basically what I said on the night that I won Miss South Africa, that I want to start a mindful movement. So the first step to that, I realized, okay, I'm a South Africa, we can't really travel around because of COVID, okay, we can't really move, but how do we get the message across? How do we educate on mental health? The issues of accessibility and affordability in this country. So if we can bring the information to the people, if we can bring the experts to the people and give them the resources that they need to get help, a lot of people's lives could be saved. So I started Mindful Mondays in partnership with the South African Depression and Anxiety Group. Basically, we bring in experts every single week and we discuss various mental health topics. And if they've got questions to ask, if there's always something that they've always wanted to ask a psychologist, it's there. If they have symptoms, the psychologist can help them identify it, self-help tips as well. And also just having resources where people that are struggling can call, like the SADC helpline. So for me, it was about helping people identify mental health, helping people be comfortable with the conversations around mental health, but also just to destigmatize it as a whole, to move it from being a taboo subject to one that's normalized in our societies. Because the biggest thing about mental health is that it's called a silent killer because no one speaks about it, because they're too scared of being judged. And then one psychologist said, speak until you're heard, which basically goes back to the messaging of the book, speak until you're heard. But then we need to be able to build a society that helps people or gives people the platform to be able to speak and be heard.
Yeah, and we want people to absolutely not shamed, but also not have to speak so many times before they're heard. A society that hears you when you speak the first time around. But you've done such great work in that space, Shudu. But another real highlight, a big one, I think that we've all seen recently is you graduating from Wits University with your honours in international relations. Yes, Queen, congratulations. Why is education so important to you?
Education is so important to me because even though my grandparents really, they didn't have an education, they made sure that their children got the education that they needed. The last thing that my late grandmother wished before she passed away, because I took a gap year. She's like, make sure Abi goes to school. She told my mother this, make sure Abi goes to school. The following year, I decided to go get my degree, but then I realized that I wasn't doing it for her. She wanted me to do it for myself. And just being knowledgeable and just wanting to change the world, you can only do that when you have a powerful tool of knowledge and education in your hand. So with me, I want to be of service to the world. I want to work in the humanitarian space where I help give aid to people in need, but also equip them with the necessary skills to be able to help themselves. African solutions to African problems, but making sure that Africans are active participants of the change they want to see on their continent. So that was quite important to me, which is why I studied what I studied and I wrote my thesis on something relating to that.
Queen.
And you are loving it. Thank you so much for the levels that you're operating on. I think most importantly for me, the fact that you are destigmatizing that conversation with children so that by the time they are adults, they are comfortable embracing and talking about their feelings. That in itself, if you just achieve that, you are winning. But you're doing so much more and we appreciate and we love you. And it's just so good to see your beautiful face. Shudu, thank you so much for joining us this morning, man. So good to see you looking so happy and healthy and clearly thriving in your role. So well done.
Thank you so much, Graham. Thank you so much, Teresa.
Oh, stunning, stunning queen that.
She uses our names. She's just so good.
She's just, you want to have her around all the time. Shudu Fadzo Musiwa's new book. It's called Shudu Finds Her Magic. Has been translated into 6 of our national official languages. I mean, that is truly brilliant. And it's available for purchase from all the leading online and book retailers. Go get it.
Oh, well, listen, we are honestly quite hungry in studio because all of the delicious recipes are being made on Glen Beach as the rest of the team, they come to us live from Glen Ken.
You know what, I missed you, Zoe. I wish you were here on the beach because that's how we're chilling here. Glen Ken. If you are not sure about Cape Town, if you come visit here, just like sort of at the end of Simonstown, it is a beautiful place. We're actually at the morning golden hour, which I'm really enjoying. And Layla Wallace from this incredible blended health cafe in Delhi is still alongside me. And we are going to do a veggie burger that you're going to want to take into the weekend. And a little earlier, we made this Baobab mayonnaise, which you're going to use as well. So it's good to repurpose some of the stuff that you've made. So Layla, over to you.
Yeah, so today we'll be making one of our popular dishes from the cafe. It's called the Veggie Deluxe Burger. Ooh. We'll use the Baobab mayonnaise and one of our veggie patties that we make in store. However, you can choose from the variety of plant-based patties that are out there to recreate this at home.
Very nice. Can I just ask you, what are in those little veggie
surprisingly, don't be shocked, but they're made of cabbage, cauliflower, and spinach with a lot of our herbs and spices to give it some flavor. It's probably the best cauliflower you'll ever eat.
This is so cool. Okay, great. So, I mean, anything that has something to do with me being near a braai-like thing, I'm excited about that. So what are you going to do in terms of the other prep work we've got here?
Cool. So if we can just lightly toast our sourdough buns. We like using the sourdough buns. It gives it a little bit of an extra tangy flavor.
Okay.
Then we'll top it with some wild rocket, some caramelized onions, some fresh tomato, the patty, our avocado, and then our Baobab mayonnaise, and end it off with some organic microgreens.
I am ready. Okay, so what I want to do is, I just want to ensure that I get a bit of oil in here, a little bit of drama.
We don't want those patties to stick. Give it a little bit of oil.
Okay, I'm going to pop that on there. And then I'm going to do this, which is fantastic. I just want to make sure that I'm ready.
There we go.
Get them on there. That's that sizzle.
Perfect.
That sizzle on the griddle for shizzle, my nizzle.
They have also been pre-cooked slightly.
All right.
So it's just basically reheating them, giving them a little bit of a flavor.
I just feel like I've just achieved my dream. This is just, like I do this on the weekend and now I'm doing this for you. It's the best thing. Like I'm going to invite you over one day. That's great. So once this is beautifully cooked, we're going to make sure that we get our other ingredients on there. And
so we'll
you want me to
start with
toast? I actually left a little gap here on the top
Cool.
here
Do you
to make sure that we have a little gap on top there.
And lightly toast the buns.
Toasting buns, that's there. Buns are toasting. And just with regard to this, I mean, you could really, that Baobab mayonnaise, you could probably swap it out for something else as well. Look at that.
There's a variety of vegan mayonnaises available in the shop, and you can just substitute it with that.
I love the color
So you
that we're
can
getting on
just
there.
give me those buns and we can start.
There we go, we got the buns sorted. Beautiful.
There we go.
And then we got these, they got some color on it, and I think we can assemble actually.
Yes, so I'll start assembling here.
Beautiful. This is what we want. And you know what I love about these veggie deluxe burgers is that because it's veggie, it kind of feels lighter. It feels like instead of you having one burger on the weekend, you can have a few.
Exactly.
Which is exciting.
That's
for
one
anybody.
of the joys about a plant-based lifestyle.
Oh.
So we've got our rocket.
So I like the rocket because you chose a rocket that's got that bit of pepperiness to it, which I really enjoy, and then a pepper and a touch of sweetness. Now there we go, you got the balance of flavor already, and now we're still adding the others.
We got the caramelized onions. We like to caramelize ours with some organic coconut sugar.
You see, you're teaching me these new things all the time, which is absolutely incredible. And then this over here, is that watercress that you got over there?
These are microgreens. So there's a combination. You can get sunflower, broccoli, so whatever our supplier gives us. And we slice
and that's
some
the freshness that we're looking for with that tomato. I know some people, tomato gets polarizing sometimes, so we completely understand. In fact, if you want to freshen this up a little bit, I'd actually add a little pineapple. I think pineapple really, but I would actually put pineapple on the griddle, give it some grill marks, and then pop it on there. I think it'll give a touch of extra sweetness there.
Cayenne pepper as well.
Yes, please, thank you.
There we go.
Speaking I communicate with you beautifully.
So if you want to just pop the patties on there.
Okay, we are popping patties. Let's do that. Patties going down. And then that Baobab mayo that we made earlier, you also popped in some of that beautiful clover olive pride to make that, which is cool. Yeah. And now we got the avo.
Got the avo.
And that's for the creaminess that we're looking for, just to finish off that bite of each one of these.
Fatties.
And this is available at the Blended Health Cafe and Deli in Glencairn, Cape Town. Baobab mayo. Finishing it off. This is the end credits of the burger, which is
gives it that juicy creaminess.
See, now you're adding drama to it.
Flavor.
The way you just splashed it over, that's it. And what I love about this mayo, it's not your normal mayo. Baobab mayo, there's a little bit of a spice to it as well, a touch of that zinginess, which is always good. And this is how we are finishing it off with the touch of those micros.
And it's packed with all the nutrients and vitamins that you need.
Done and dusted.
There
well,
we go.
If you want to get the recipe, I have popped it on along with Layla on expressoshow.com. Thank you so much for all these culinary delights you've made for us.
You're
welcome.
Great.
You're going to need all the energy. We're going to dance later. Stick with us. It's the Feel Good Breakfast Show Expresso here in S3. I'm going to bite.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. As we prep to enter the final hour of the show, if I stand here without a face, it's because the School of Rock have just melted my face off with a sound check. It is insane. Brace yourselves for that on the other side of a quick update on our news and sporting headlines.
Thank you, Graham. Starting with national news, a major SA insurance company has announced that with immediate effect, it will now treat refusal to receive a COVID-19 vaccine similar to other health risk factors such as smoking. Those who have received the vaccine for the coronavirus, on the other hand, will be receiving extra benefits. The company said in a statement, COVID-19 adds significant risk to the health of all life insurance clients. This decision comes on the back of clear evidence on the efficacy of vaccinations and South Africa's acceleration of its vaccination campaign. And staying with local news, the Road Traffic Management Corporation has warned motorists that the deadline for the renewal of licenses, which expired between 26 March and 31 December 2020, is fast approaching. The national lockdown imposed on the country last year forced licensing centres to close, resulting in a backlog. The Minister of Transport then announced an extension for all learners' licenses, driving licence cards, temporary driving licenses and professional driving licenses until the end of August this year. Moving to news abroad, at a global education summit in London hosted by British Prime Minister Boris Johnson and Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta, governments, businesses and philanthropists are being asked to invest in the future of children by raising more than $5 billion. Boosting education is especially urgent given the impact of the coronavirus. In wealthier countries, some virtual learning has continued, but for many students in rural areas, also in Africa, school closures have been far more harmful. World leaders will be asked to subcommit a fifth of their national budgets to education. And moving down under, Australia is to return 14 artworks to India. The National Gallery has identified the works as either stolen, looted or of unknown origin. The collection is composed largely of religious and cultural artifacts, including some dating back to the 12th century. 13 of the works are connected to alleged traffickers, Subhash Kapoor, a former Manhattan art dealer who was the subject of an extensive FBI investigation. The gallery has already returned several other works it acquired via Kapoor, including a $5 million bronze statue of the Hindu god Shiva. And in what was reminiscent of a Hollywood movie, several emergency services, including the local fire ops, the SAPS, search and rescue, and a vet, converged on a scene in Fairlands, Johannesburg yesterday to rescue a 14-year-old Labrador named Sushi that was trapped in a manhole. And Paco Mundleke of the fire ops team was the hero of the day. After Joburg Roads Agency arrived and removed a section of the road to allow access, rescue worker Paco's legs were strapped and he was lowered headfirst into the drain to later emerge amidst tumultuous applause from a large crowd of onlookers with a traumatized Sushi. Bravo Paco from Fire Ops, as he is being wildly hailed on social media, has become quite a hero, receiving scores of messages and thanks from people who followed the 7-hour rescue. But all's well that ends well, and the vet gave Sushi a clean bill of health on the scene. Well, thank you for that amazing story, and that's where I leave your morning headlines for today. Here's a final look at your sport with Graham.
Well, some great news to wake up to if you haven't heard already. On the Olympics front, South Africa's Tatjana Schoenmaker set a new world record in the women's 200-meter breaststroke to win Olympic gold at the Tokyo Games early this morning. Schoenmaker, who is already a silver medal winner, clocked a time of 2 minutes and 18.95 seconds. The 24-year-old not only won South Africa's first gold medal, but also became the first person to set an individual world record in Tokyo this year. And compared Kayleen Corbett, who was swimming in the same event, finished in 5th place with a time of 2 minutes 22.06 seconds. Then South Africa's most decorated Olympian, Chad le Clos, yesterday failed to reach the men's 100-meter butterfly semi-finals at the Olympic Games. The 29-year-old will be leaving Tokyo empty-handed after finishing 6th in his heat with a time of 51.89 seconds. Le Clos finished 18th overall with only the top 16 qualifying for the semi-finals. Then on to a shock result. The South African African men's hockey team caused a major upset at the Tokyo Olympics after stunning Germany 4-3 in their Pool B clash yesterday. Germany won bronze at the last Olympic Games in Rio and have a world ranking 9 places above South Africa. Goals by Matt Guish-Brown, Keenan Horn, Nick Spooner and Mustafa Kasim sealing South Africa's first victory in the tournament. And then on to the courts. World number 1 Novak Djokovic will face Alexander Zverev in the men's tennis semi-finals at the Tokyo Games. Djokovic, who is now chasing a golden Grand Slam, beat Japan's home favorite Kei Nishikori in straight sets 6-2, 6-love in only 70 minutes to advance. That while German 4th seed Zverev, he booked his place in the semis after seeing off France's Jeremy Chardy 6-4, 6-1 in their last H match. And then outside of the Olympics, of course, Test rugby on the cards this weekend. The second test of the Lions series between the Springboks and the British and Irish Lions will kick off in Cape Town tomorrow. South Africa are going to have to level the series after the Lions took a 1-0 lead when they won that first test, 22-17. Bok prop Stephen Kitsoff will earn his 50th test cap, and Jasper Visser also steps in. He's been named at number 8 in this crucial clash. Lions coach Warren Gatland's also made 3 changes of his own to his starting 15 with Conor Murray, Chris Harris and Marco Vunipola, who's been brilliant off the bench coming into that starting side. The match between the Boks and the Lions will kick off at 6 p.m. at the Cape Town Stadium tomorrow. Well, that's a wrap of your sport for this Friday morning. Enjoy soaking up all of the Olympic action. Of course, Akana Simbine and Wade van Niekerk in action over the weekend. So spare a thought for them. But right now, let's get one last weather update.
Thank you, Graham. And after 18 months of careful planning, Stellenbosch University yesterday officially launched a school for climate studies, the first of its kind in South Africa. Some 100 master's and PhD students have already been enrolled. Welcoming the launch, the Deputy Minister of Higher Education, Science and Innovation, Buti Manamele, said SA urgently needed expertise, knowledge and innovation to better understand and adapt to the complex results of climate change. SU's Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Eugene Kluter, said the school would focus on research and development and would zoom in on 5 key aspects, that is the natural environment, health and human security, systems and technologies for the future, human creativity and social innovation, and lastly, social justice and development. He added that his wish for the school was that it builds a future for those that will follow. And while we love seeing the various parts of South Africa, we also love exploring and learning about the different cultures and countries internationally. We have taken a bit of inspiration for great surf spots from some of our teams who are in Glen today, bringing us surfing and yoga as well as some delicious meals and healthy food dishes. So for your last update for this morning, we're heading over to the coastal resort city of Puerto Vallarta, located in the Mexican state of Jalisco, where surfers of all skill levels, from beginners to experts, are able to enjoy the waves. Nearly 50% of the workforce is employed in tourism-related industries, such as hotels, restaurants, personal services, and transportation. The municipality does, however, continue to have strong agricultural, industrial, and commercial sectors. Puerto Vallarta experiences a tropical, wet and dry climate, with average daily highs sitting at 30 degrees Celsius and an average low of 21 degrees Celsius. So if you're in the area today, you can expect some cloud cover with a couple of thunder showers in the afternoon. It will still, however, be a warm day with a maximum of 32 degrees Celsius. And wrapping things up, we are recapping on the weather images that we received this morning, but not without showing off these stunning shots taken by our local viewers and our own very own social media manager, Mike Wright, who is on location with the team in Glencairn. What a beautiful way to start the day, and we are definitely a little bit envious of the rest of the team who are on location today. And when it comes to our viewers' sunrise photos, we started your Friday morning off with this one that was sent in from Carol Baloy from Limpopo. She shared this beautiful shot as the sun rises, casting light over the area. Shanae Allenby from Joburg also shared this silhouetted image of the day as the day begins, waiting for the sun to rise behind the trees. Thank you for that. At 7 a.m., two of our regular contributors. First up was Gary Orcombe from East London, who sent in a great sunrise over the ocean. And then we ventured a little further up the coast to Durban, where Vincent Latuli shared yet another great photo of the sun coming up over the distance, over the hills in the distance. Well, thank you to each and everyone for taking the time to share those gorgeous sunrise photos with us, and we love seeing what you get up to. So please keep sharing those shots with us, and you can do so on the Expresso Facebook page. Now, for today's temperatures, we thought we'll bring you a beautiful view of Glen Beach and Glen Ken, so do enjoy it. And if you're in Polokwane, expect a sunny day with a low of 5, a high of 19. Mbombela 8, 22. Pretoria sunny, a low of 6 with a high of 22 for today. Johannesburg 4, reaching a high of 19. Mahikeng 4, 23. Klerksdorp 1 with a high of 22. Kimberley a low of 2 with a high of 21 for today. Bloemfontein a cool start of -3, reaching a high of 21. Richards Bay 13, 22. Pietermaritzburg 7, 22. Durban sunny, reaching a high of 21. Mthatha 4 with a high of 22 for today. East London, 10 is your low, 20 your high. Cradock, expect a sunny day with a high of 22. Gqeberha, 8, reaching a high of 19. If you're in George today, 9 is your low, 19 your high. Cape Town, 9, reaching a high of 19. Worcester, 7, 22. Sutherland, sunny with a high of 17. And Uppington, a sunny day ahead with a low of 5 and a high of 25 degrees Celsius. Well, that's where I leave your weather on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Well, the School of Rock Claremont has been blowing our minds this morning, and they're going to turn it all over again this morning. Believe it or not, guys, we've reached week 30, okay, of 2021. We have survived, which is reason enough, I think, to celebrate. And in fact, that's the title of the track that they're going to be performing for us right now. It was originally created by Rare Earth. Here is the School of Rock with I Just Want to Celebrate.
1, 2, 3, 4. I just want to celebrate another day of living. I just want to celebrate another day of life. Put my faith in the people, but the people let me down. I turn the other way and I carry on anyhow. That's why I'm telling you I just want to celebrate, yeah, yeah. Another day of living, yeah. I just want to celebrate another day of life. Had my hand on the dollar bill, but the dollar bill flew away. But the sun is shining down on me and I feel safe. That's why I'm telling you I just want to celebrate, yeah, yeah. Another day of living, yeah. I just want to celebrate another day of living. I just want to celebrate another day of life. Don't let it all get you down, no, no. Don't let it turn you around and around and around. Well, I can't be bothered with sorrow, and I can't be bothered with hate, no, no. I'm using up the time for feeling fine every day. That's why I'm telling you I just want to celebrate. Oh, yeah. I just want to celebrate another day, no, no. Oh, no. I just want to celebrate another day of living. I just want to celebrate another day of life. Don't let it all get you down, no, no. Don't let it turn you around and around and around and around, don't go round. I just wanna celebrate. I just
it's like you were challenging her and then he was challenging him and it was just crazy. I want to celebrate you. I want to celebrate the talent that is insane. The School of Rock are going to bring us one more performance. You don't want to move a muscle. Guys, take a bow. That was superb. Woo!
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, well, listen, this is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and on Fridays we get very excited to talk movies with the one and only JP Sebastian. Good morning, JP.
Good morning.
Are you ready for a weekend ahead?
I am ready to try and keep you home with movies from SABC. Let's see if I can do this.
Okay, well, let's start with the first one that we can catch on screens this evening, of course, featuring the one and only Jackie Chan.
Yeah. I go for this now. Sorry, I was just trapped in my own yeah there. Jackie Chan, because like you said, the one and only, we love him dearly. How many movies has this man done now? I think it's in excess of 160 films. And Battle Creek Brawl was actually his first movie in the United States. Yes, I see your face like gawping there when I say over 160 films. And in fact, the other unofficial films in the count, it's really hard to say how many movies this man has done or even how old he is at this point. But like I said, Battle Creek Brawl was the one that put him on the scene, sort of, for American film. I say sort of, but it actually just is a matter of fact that it was his first American movie. So I think the first thing you'll be surprised to see with Battle Creek Brawl is that his English has not improved at all. He has made no effort to learn the English language. He still speaks about as well as Arnold Schwarzenegger.
But we can
Lovely
forgive
man.
him for that because his talent speaks for it. I mean, I remember growing up loving and watching Jackie Chan movies, and to this day, it's still a favorite of mine.
I'm glad. Did you by any chance have, like, not necessarily a favorite movie, but a favorite type that I know when I was with my I'd watch movies with my dad. It was Bud Spencer and Terence Hill, spaghetti western, that kind of stuff. It was your time together. I don't know if you had a similar kind of thing, but
I was a little bit more modern. I was more Rush Hour. My brother, he was actually more of the bigger influence regarding why I would end up watching the Jackie Chan movies and Bruce Lee movies. But you know what? The fighting is always so incredible.
Yes, and especially if you need to let off some steam, maybe Battle Creek Brawl is for you, but man, you're making me feel old. I remember just thinking about these, and you're talking about Rush Hour, which was yesterday's, you babaki. Battle Creek Brawl, really unfortunately only warms up by the last half an hour. Bit slow going for Jackie Chan, more like Slacky Chan, am I right?
No, you can't say that.
You
can't say that. You can't call him Slacky Chan.
This one only falls into at least his top 30 maybe of movies, but still, if you got a Chan itch to scratch, then maybe this is the one for you. SABC 1 at 9 p.m. tonight. Dumb fun. Same director, by the way, as Enter the Dragon, Bruce Lee's first American movie. Okay. So expect at least decent filmmaking, but like I said, not necessarily top Jackie Chan, but if you got the Chan itch to scratch.
Oh, I see what you did there. Well, let's move on to a movie you can catch tomorrow night. This is obviously at 7:30 on SABC 3.
I can only hope that Indrajit is a Tamil name of the main character. I wish that I could look that calm and composed whenever I balang while I'm trail running on the mountain, catching gravel up my bum. Slickest looking man. Bollywood. But in the Tamil language, usually these are Hindi, irrespective. So the story is Indrajit is this young dude who has a spirit of adventure in him. He's not in it for the glory, he's not in it for the money, he just loves getting into the outdoors and adventuring. Indiana Jones type stuff. You've got one archaeologist from a university versus another archaeologist from another institute, and they're both chasing the same mystical stone that has healing properties. One possibly wants to share it with the world, the other one might want it for nefarious reasons. I love it. And Indrajit is just in it for the ride. Doesn't care about anything else, really. So if you like Tomb Raider, Lara Croft type stuff, and especially the Angelina Jolie versions of those, then maybe this is up your alley. But man, I've only seen people panning this. Of all the Bollywood fans out there, all the connoisseurs, they were like, what exactly am I watching? So mindless fun, I'm sure. Maybe find out for yourself. Saturday, 7:30. Ain't seen it myself. And I only have like 3 brain cells to spare, so I'm going to try and save it for, I don't know, Battle Creek Brawl maybe.
Maybe save it for our last movie that we can catch on Sunday evening at 7:30. I mean, some big names in there. Denzel Washington, Colin Farrell's in there.
Carmen Ejogo as well. Do you have a favorite Denzel movie? Are you the Denzel who's like Man on Fire Denzel Washington, or do you like a more drama type Denzel Washington yourself?
I'm a little bit of both when it comes to Denzel Washington. He's very talented in that way.
Ooh, he's so
favorite.
Yeah, it'd be crazy to call favorites. You'd probably send Jackie Chan to beat you up. Denzel Washington is just a marvelous actor, and in fact, he carries the entirety of Roman J. Israel Esquire. Esquire, by the way, if you have Esquire at the end of your name, please tell Expresso we want to hear from you, because who are you in present day? Esquire means someone who's just lower rank than a knight. So the character is clearly very highfalutin and fancy then. Roman J. Israel Esquire. The character that Denzel Washington plays is a defense attorney, mostly for civil rights lawsuits. He takes the underdog, the downtrodden. He doesn't have high-flying sort of clients and anything like that. All the while, he's building a brief to fight the whole system as itself. And with the help of Colin Farrell, who is more of the fancy-schmancy type lawyer, goes for the sort of money type of things rather than the idealistic side of things, he might be able to shake the system from within. But he sort of has to face the difficulties of cynicism, like losing heart, losing hope, even though he's very idealistic. And he's a bit like, I don't know if you know the TV show House. The character is not necessarily likable, but he has a lot of belief in his own way of doing things. So totally dynamic and pretty different for the Denzel Washington that we're used to. Again, though, like maybe not necessarily the best of his kind of thing, even though he's the one who carries the entire project. From the director of Nightcrawler, which was a fantastic movie. Maybe watch that one too if you like this one. He knows how to do sort of twisted characters. And Roman J. Israel Esquire is entirely just Denzel Washington, the movie.
Oh, amazing.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
7:30.
Yeah, on SABC3. There we go. Well, JP Sebastian, it's always so great to catch up with you, especially when we find out what movies to watch this weekend. Bye, JP. We get no words from Al. That was goodbye to you.
I'm sorry.
Bye.
I always feel like I'm... Did I get it, Zoe?
You did. Okay. We always get very awkward. Okay. Well, it is your feel-good breakfast show, and we're about to sit down with two incredible people who's going to talk to us about the new season of The Real Goboza.
Since 2007, The Real Goboza on SABC1 has been serving viewers the scoop they need on celebrity news and gossip, red carpet fashion, homes, and of course entertainment. Hosted by a slew of leading personality superstars over the years, from the likes of Trevor Noah, Pearl Thusi, Fat Joe, it's now been in the trusted hands of TV presenter and businesswoman Sinazo Yorwa and TV and radio presenter and MC Samora Mangesi, and they are both joining us right now, looking just a little bit too good looking, actually. Yeah. If we can point that out.
It's tough.
But that is, of course, ahead of what will be the last season of The Real Goboza. Guys, a very good morning. Welcome to it.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Thanks a lot, Sinaza. Thanks a lot, Samora, for joining us. Sinaza, I want to start with you now. Having been a host on the show since about 2013, what does it feel like to be closing the chapter on this beloved celebrity show?
Wow, it's been a part of my life for so long. I don't know what my next move is going to be. it's the end of an era. That's the only way I can describe it.
It really is, and I think you both deserve massive kudos for the work that you put in there, and you've become a part of that brand, and you had obviously a pretty tough act to follow. There's some amazing hosts over the years, and you guys have done an amazing job. Maybe that's one factor, Samora, that feeds into it, but why do you think the show has just been able to resonate so well with fans for so long? You have an incredible track record. What is that key to success, do you think?
You know what, I think the key to success, Graham, definitely had to be the personalities that came through the hosts. Because it's not just about delivering celebrity news and entertainment, it's also about putting your own spin to it and adding, you know, that little bit of spice to it. So I think that's definitely what's made people come back for more. Because you can find the information anyway. It's just, you can't find the way that Snazo and I do it.
I completely agree. In fact, I just feel like you guys are on stalker level 1000, if you think about it. Because the stuff that you pull out of the celebrities, sure, it's good stuff. It always has been. And I must commend both of you for that. It's really been a journey. Sinazo, from your side, I mean, what is your favorite part about connecting Mzansi's audiences with their favorite celebs? I mean, do you have an interview highlight from over the years that you want to share with us? Also, if there is any gossip that you want to drip over, you just feel free. Now is your time.
Okay, I can't share any gossip because I need you guys to tune in on Saturdays. Come on now. But definitely, I think for myself, Naomi Campbell, just running up to the Global Citizens Festival, because it took so long to actually get that interview going. I think we tried twice, and then the third time we were lucky. It was so many ups and downs to get that woman pinned down and get a few moments of her time. So that is definitely a highlight for me.
For me, I think when it comes to my favorite interview, it would have to be that entire lead up to the Global Citizen Festival. You know, definitely interviewing Matthew Knowles, also just being on the red carpet for the Global Citizen Festival and interviewing people like Tyler Perry, Danai Gurira, etc. You know, I mean, I had Oprah walk right past me.
Yeah, no, that was a special time for all of us, I think. Yeah, incredible.
And it's great that we had the ambassadors like you two at the helm just to make sure that we are connected. And I think let's look forward. I know it's the final season and there are going to be some tears shed and some tea spilt, which is what we enjoy. But just from both of you, Sinaz, I'll actually start with you. What can the viewers expect to enjoy from this final season as we see the end of what is a very, very successful era on South African television?
So definitely more of what we've been bringing, you know, the heat for the past few years, but also we're going to be looking back on some very memorable RGB highlights over the years. So stuff before Samora got in, some of it before I joined the show even. So I think it will be nice to take a little walk down memory lane while we're still bringing you the freshest news and events that are happening.
You guys have such a wonderful chemistry with each other, which I think is has been the critical key success factor. You guys clearly have a lot of love for each other, and that translates into the work that you do. And you respect the viewers, and even those that you're dishing the dirt on, I think they allow you the access that they do because they know that you guys do really respect the industry. So keep doing that, and you know, enjoy it, man. Soak up every last second of all of the drama and the gossip and the glitz and glam. You guys have earned the right to really revel in this final season.
Thank you so much for those kind words. And yep, that's definitely what we're going to do.
Spill that rooibos indeed. Thanks a lot to Sinazo as well as Samora. And you can get the inside scoop as well as exciting entertainment from your favorite celebrities. Just tune into The Real Goboza every single Saturday, 7:30 p.m. only on SABC 1.
Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso on S3, and one thing I have to say is we are loving our thought-provoking skin sessions with Ingrams. And on Tuesday, we, delved into another brave conversation with Miss South Africa CEO Stephanie Wheel and two members of the transgender community. That was Sophia Sibanda and Yaya Mavundla, who were they were brave enough and discussed how important it is to feel empowered and comfortable within our own skin.
Yeah, I think a massive step forward by Miss South Africa as an organization in being brave enough to offer that platform as well. So we asked you guys at home to join the brave conversation, and we've received so many incredible stories sharing acts of bravery that you are most proud of. So thank you so much for that. Psychologist and good friend on the show, Dr. Ashadulab, is here via Zoom to answer a few of those questions. I got to say, we had a real difficulty sifting through so many amazing stories. So thank you so much to each and every one of you that did weigh in. But one in particular jumped out or leapt off the page and got our attention. And this was Pearl, and she had this to say. When I left my abusive ex, he said, no one would ever love me for so many reasons, one being my size. I'm celebrating 5 years this year with my husband, who loves every inch of my body. Hashtag Ingrams, hashtag your skin, your brave. I love that.
I'm so happy she's out of that unhealthy relationship and she's really found a beautiful, healthy one. And we actually have Pearl on the line right now. Pearl, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for being brave enough to share a snippet of your story. What is your question for Dr. Asher this morning?
Okay, my question is, Doctor, how can you move on and forget about everything that to do? Because there are things that like the pain and everything comes back like nothing yesterday.
Okay, so we're having some line issues, but Paul was asking how can she move on and forget about everything that happened to her. There are some things that still trigger the pain and everything that comes back like it happened yesterday. She says, I still carry on the anger, the hurt, the bitterness with me. Dr. Asher, do you have some professional advice for Paul?
Hi, good morning. Thanks so much, Bill, for sharing your story. And this is certainly a woman that really honors herself, which in turn helps so many other women. I think firstly, my advice to her is to have the intention to want to heal, because sometimes our own inner dialogue, our own inner critic can come up to self-sabotage our healing. And that we can do just by positive affirmations, saying to ourselves that I am worthy, I am beautiful, I am enough. Another way is to get creative and really go back into delving in things that you really previously enjoyed, hobbies or things that you previously gave you passion and joy in your life. Sometimes we lose in our touch with things that we used to love. I think also what's really important is to practice gratitude each and every day of things that you are grateful for. I think the story is lovely in that she was able to receive love again in her life. Yeah. Another good technique, of course, is to exercise, because we heal the mind through our body. And those are just few techniques that can really, really help Pearl to deal with her triggers of emotion. But firstly, most importantly, watch the inner dialogue, watch what those voices inside your head are saying to you, and have intention to heal.
And I suppose it's okay to be angry. It's okay to remember these things, because we don't ever forget, and you'll never ever forget and let go of that. You've got to be able to move through it. It's not about disconnecting from that, but rather pass through it. And she sounds like she is brave enough to do that, and she has got the right guy at her side to be able to do that, which is beautiful.
And just to touch on the feelings you were saying, I read something in a book where they say feelings are meant to be felt. We are not supposed to feel okay. There's something wrong if you feel just okay. You're supposed to feel those emotions. But thank you, Paul, for being brave to share your story, and we hope what Asher said to you will resonate with you. Now, what we've also received, Graham, was two other brave stories which we would like to share with you.
Yeah, man, I'm going to start with Katiwe, who said this on Twitter: coming out as gay to friends and family, exclamation mark. That's a statement in itself. That was hard and still is hard, but so worth it. Expressing the truth is hugely freeing. Hashtag your skin, you're brave. Asha, how important is it that we get to that point? You could live your entire life not living your truth. And I would imagine for a lot of people, having to come out in that space is probably going to be one of the biggest, if not the biggest challenge of their lives. Yet everyone we've spoken to in this journey says it's the most liberating thing. What stops people? What prevents them from liberating themselves?
Graham, absolutely, it's freeing and liberating. But the one thing that stops an individual to speak their truth is fear. The fear how other people will judge them, how other people will see them, which also links in with experiences of shame and guilt. So one needs to firstly feel safe in themselves to share. And the start of that is to really find someone, firstly, who you can trust, that you can share your story with. And that way you will feel that at least there's one individual that can accept you for who you are. Because there are stages in coming out. There's confusion. So there's identity confusion, then there's comparison, there's identity tolerance, before we reach the stage of complete identity acceptance and identity pride. And that all takes a process. For some, it's a very gradual process, while for others, it can be just sudden. And remember that others that are receiving this, it's also hard for them, because many people are very stuck in their own way of thinking and conditioning, and it's neither right or wrong. So it's a process for everybody, for the person that's coming out, but also for the person that needs to receive this information of this new identity or this evolved identity of an individual.
Well, Asha, we always love hearing from you. I think it's so important to have these discussions. And thank you for the great advice you've been giving us.
Pleasure.
Oh, man, we'd love to touch on more in the coming weeks. We definitely will. So thank you once again to all of the contributors this morning. Some amazing comments and acts of bravery. The brave conversation isn't over yet. Tell us, what act of bravery are you most proud of in your life, and what has it helped you overcome? You can reply to the competition post on the Expresso Facebook, our Twitter or our Instagram page. And of course, include that hashtag your skin, your brave, to stand a chance of winning a 1,000 Rand voucher with Ingram's. This week's competition closes at midday today, but you can find all the terms and conditions on expressoshow.com.
That's right, and join us again on Tuesday morning, where our very own Raul de Mornay and actor Muzi Mtabela, they discuss the true definition of masculinity in today's society. A very important discussion.
Nourish your skin with Ingram's Moisture Plus, enriched with triple glycerine. For 48-hour intensive moisture. Ingram's, your skin, your brave.
Sometimes your skin needs something over it, and it feels like we're about to broach a brand new fashion.
That's right, and it is the big shirt trend. And of course, we're going to join Jamie at Glen Beach.
The sun is shining, the waves are crashing, and we are being fashion here on the beach this morning. Let me tell you, over the past few weeks, we're speaking all about tie-dye making a comeback season in fashion. But today, our fashion and beauty editor, Knox Marf, was speaking all about the big shirt, the relaxed look. Girl, like my sister, my twin, she kind of says, "They can take it back to the beach." Hey! What a vibe.
It's such a nice vibe.
Can we just take a moment, Mama?
I feel like this is literally my go-to. The big shirt is so great. And I mean, I feel like we're in the perfect place for it. And it's so relaxed. This is the fashion moment at the moment.
100%. I almost feel like we need to swap roles right now. You need to go fetch Luca, because you look like that cool mom, just laid back.
Absolutely. This is the laid back look. I think that's the joy of the big shirt, is that no matter what you're wearing, it has an ability to change things and make them so chic and so versatile. And I mean, they come in a range of colors. So I really think that if you're someone who's like the lazy kind of girl who wants to be fashionable, the big shirt is your go-to staple to have.
And we've been seeing it everywhere. I mean, on the runway, we're seeing it in street fashion.
Yes.
I have to ask you, is this the trend for spring and summer?
Absolutely, Jamie. So I think what it is it really is that item that you can wear with athleisure items, you can wear it in a formal setting with heels and denims, but also it's something that you could wear to the beach with your bikini or something, you know. It really has so much versatility and also ease, you know what I mean? The flow of it, it's made with brilliant cottons. We know that Woolworths focuses on that a lot. So really it's something that you can wear at any point in summer and you'll look great doing so.
And if you ever had too much muffins for breakfast, it's just that cool thing to just
to
put it
cover
out.
up. But I mean, I think to see the shirt in action has always been kind of the best way, and I've got 3 distinct looks to kind of help you through with this.
Show me what you got. Show me what you got.
Cool. So we're starting out here with a really athleisure look. We're looking great in the mint pink shirt. But what I love about this is if she's come from the gym, she can quickly add it on and it changes the outfit immediately. And then if she wants to style it differently, we can of course do a bit of a knot at the waist, and immediately it's something that shows off her body and the different kinds, but it's still the same top, you know? So 2 functions, 1 top, and it's such ease. So that is our first look for today.
From the gym to the coffee, she is set for the entire day.
100%. And now this is one of my favorite. The classic big shirt is so great. If you're gonna do your errands or you wanna go see some friends for lunch, this is literally my go-to staple. If someone calls me and they wanna meet up, I'm definitely gonna get something like this. So this is great because you can wear it with denims, you could wear them with boyfriend jeans like how I've paired it, but pair that with some great sandals or even heels and you're ready to hit the town. And I think the big shirt is so comfortable in that regard. And look how chic she looks.
And there's something about a crisp white shirt and denim that pairs so well together because you can really get, you know, just get more funky with the accessories as well.
Exactly.
So I see that you did the nice sling bag as well to spread it down with those sandals. Absolutely love this crisp look.
Very, very cool. I think you're absolutely right. No matter the skin tone, a white shirt will look great, and the accessories give it that pop, which is really, really cool.
I can't see what else you have in store for us.
I've got more.
You got more. She's got more.
So we've got a beautiful mixture of athleisure and denim. Yes. So this for me is like my go-to beach look. And we've got her in a classic denim short, which is frayed at the end, a little bit of distress. And then we've paired that with lilac big shirt. Now, lilac is a great color this summer. The pastel colors are definitely back. So we've done that, and we've added, actually, if you recognize the top, is actually a gym top.
It's gym wear.
Athleisure wear. So this is a nice mix between trends. And of course, the big shirt giving it that extra chic, cool. But she could wear this at the beach. She could wear this to a picnic with friends. And of course, with a great sling bag, just to add that cool at the end.
Now, I was a bit scared that this look was going to make them look too frumpy or it's just going to be oversized, but I like the fact that you took away from it and you're actually still showing off a little frame there.
Absolutely.
So you're still playing with her body.
Yeah, I mean, depending on what you're looking for, you know, this is something that can just accentuate the body. If she wants to tie it up, she could close it. But the versatility of the shirt is exactly what makes it a star in any fashion wardrobe. You can wear it in different ways.
I think we need to get everybody in here.
Everybody ready.
We brought fashion to the beach, everybody. This is how we do it. Let me tell you, if you want to get this look, you want to get this shirt, you want to get laid back, you can get all of this at Woolworths. And of course, this is available in store, online, or on the app.
a Friday, and you know what would make this day even more special? If it is your birthday, time to dance.
Happy birthday, have a happy birthday. Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you.
Oh, that's right. You know, here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, we love dancing on Fridays.
Yep,
and for your birthday, we've asked you to send in your best dance moves. And the videos have been pouring in, and we've loved seeing all of them. And boy, did you deliver. Should we check some of them out?
I'd love to. I'd love to. Afifa, she's ready for school, but she's ready for a party.
That's how you dance.
She's a dynamic young lady. Oh, Cynthia. Don't hold back, girl.
I love it.
Just try and stop me dancing. Just try it.
You can't.
Nice, Cynthia. Yvonne's got the footwork. Whoa.
I'm always so impressed with people with quick feet.
Are your feet slow? Kaylee's in the field. She's got the headphones on. She doesn't care if anyone's watching. Yeah.
Just with the music.
Dance like nobody's watching. Beautiful. Nombolelo.
Happy birthday.
I don't know who's filming you, Nombolelo. It's like your neighbor likes the way you dance. That's cool. Tutuko. Yo, talk about the footwork.
From a young age.
Yeah. Break it down, baby. Cute, man. Oh, get out of here.
Okay, I'm
Manchiso, look at that. Oh, no. That is too sweet, man. Wendy's in a showdown. Is that a dance-off? That looks like a dance-off.
Looks like a dance-off. Oh, I love it.
Wendy Karabo, you are a winner in our eyes. We absolutely love that. Thank you so much. We love you guys for sending in such amazing videos. It really does make our week. Keep them coming. But this week, of course, we have to pick a favorite. And our favorite video was this one from Mvelo Stampura in Vryheid down in KZN. Take a look. Oh, yeah? Yeah, talk about the footwork.
Wow. It's all about the footwork this week.
Yeah, no, skills, mad skills. We absolutely love that video. We love those moves, and we've got Mvelo on the line right now. We love you, buddy. Happy belated birthday. How are you?
Thank you. How are you?
Oh, very good. All the better for seeing your dance moves, my man. You've got the moves, bro. Are you like a pro dancer? Is this a hobby? Give us the inspiration.
What's my inspiration?
Oh, you just have natural talent.
So, buddy, how was the birthday celebrations? Did you have an awesome birthday? Did you get to party a little bit?
What?
Oh, we were just checking if you were able to enjoy and celebrate your birthday, but we want to make it extra special for you. Do you want to tell them the good news?
Buddy, because you are so cool, because the footwork is so awesome, and we love you, we are giving you 500 Rand! Congratulations, Mvelo! Oh, buddy, thank you so much for sending us such an awesome video. You look like a champion. I'm sorry we didn't have the best line, but hopefully you can go and have an amazing weekend with 500 bucks in your pocket. Happy birthday, belated birthday, and enjoy it.
There we go. And remember, we are running a weekly competition where you stand a chance to win yourself 500 Rand in cash to celebrate your birthday. All you need to do is WhatsApp us your birthday dance videos to that number that's on your screen right now. It's 071-640-6551, and terms and conditions can be found on our website. That's expressoshow.com.
Now we've got to send out a massive thank you, a huge thank you to the School of Rock, Claremont, for taking the time to join us this morning and literally blow our minds. The band has one more performance coming our way just for you. We're going to rock our way into the weekend, and the track is Back to the River by American singer, guitarist, and Grammy Award nominee Susan Tedeschi, and it was released back in 2008. Here is School of Rock with their version, trademark version of Back to the River. Thank you, School of Rock.
Nourish your skin with Ingram's for Men, enriched with triple glycerine. For 48-hour moisture and no stickiness. Ingram's, your skin, your brave.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, well, it's almost time to shut up shop before the weekend, but I think we can squeeze in a dance move.
Of course we have to. It's a Friday and we love dancing on a Friday, especially at the beach.
What is a Friday without the Friday dance here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show? 100 female strong dancers are here ahead of the event on the 9th of August. Here they are to show you what is taking place on that day.
Feminist. A person who believes in the social, political, and economic equality of the sexes.
Where's all my soul, sisters? Let me hear your flow, sisters.
Hey, sister, go, sister, soul, sister, flows. Get you, yeah, yeah, da, da. Get you, yeah, yeah, Mocha chocolate, yeah, yeah. That my best friend, she a real bad got her own money. She don't need no on the dance floor. She had 2-3 drinks, now she twerking. She throw it out and come back in. That's my best friend. She a real bad, drive her own car. She don't need no lift in the club. No, my girl gon' flip. Now she twerking, she throw it out and come back in hot.
Yeah. I'm a queen, I'm a queen, I'm a queen. Ain't nothing move if they ain't got me. I'm a queen, I'm a queen, I'm a queen. Give me what I want, yeah, give me everything. I'm a queen, I'm a queen, I'm a queen. Ain't nothing move if they ain't got me. I'm a queen, I'm a queen, I'm a queen. Give me what I want, yeah, give me everything. All the women, independent, throw your hands up at me. All the honeys making money, throw your hands up at me. All the mamas rockin' dollars, throw your hands up at me. All the ladies truly feel me, throw your hands up at me. We run this mother. We run this mother. Who run the world? Who run the world? Who run the world? Who run the world?
Say it with steaming hot breakfasts, soul food Sundays, and slow-cooked dinners that will warm any winter. Made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.
think we're going to have to bring them back on Monday.
Touch, 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 touch.
Can you take a look?
85 years of existence. SABC, we are so proud of all the notable milestones you've achieved, including your move towards having an SABC bill. We hope that fellow citizens provide valuable insights so that we can create an SABC that we can all be proud of. We are proud that you continue to be a reliable platform to nurture talent. Happy birthday, SABC. As we commemorate this day, we not only want to use it to critically reflect on the progress made thus far, but also to focus on casting our eyes forward to the future. We look forward to a more profitable and progressive public service broadcaster. We all have a story to share about the SABC, me certainly. One of the greatest is how SABC platforms have managed to bring citizens together.